Right, now let's see if I can find the fucking settings. All right, Holly. Yeah, I've just jumped in early. I'm trying to figure out again how I've forgotten how to get rid of these fucking hearts.
You are live.
Yeah, I know I'm live. I can see it. I'm just going over to here to see if this will do it. Because I think you need to be live to be able to get in. Connect stream. Well, according to that, they're turned off. But they're still visible, aren't they? Are they still visible?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, I thought you were talking to Holly.
No.
No, because you said hello, Holly.
Yeah, I was just explaining what I'm trying to do here.
Yes.
All right, Pa. Yeah, bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to sort these bloody heart things out again. I'm fucked if I know. I can't remember how I did it last time. I really can't. Well, for a start, I'm on top chat. Hi, Phil. Forward create. Yeah, they're, yeah, I know they're there. Fuck's sake. I just can't remember how to get rid of the bastards. Oh, hang on. Nope. That's not doing anything. It's not giving me anything in settings other than that. Oh, for crying out loud. You're looking for fish, Holly? Right. No. Oh, why won't you do what I want? No. Oh, for crying out loud. I ain't I hope I don't have to go through the whole fucking afternoon with them things. Right, Mickey, Stuart. Bear with me, guys. It's me, remember? Right, press on that little thing there. No. No. Oh, where am I going to find the settings? How the hell did I do it last week? No. Ah. No. Oh, for fucking hell's sake. Is it in YouTube Studio? Dashboard. Analytics, content, customization. No. Oh, help.
I thought you'd figured it out.
I thought I had, but obviously
no.
I haven't. What I don't understand is it was in here, I did it somewhere last time. I mean, that gives me the studio dashboard.
Yeah. Settings
that gives me the stream.
There you go.
Yeah, but that isn't the stream I'm on now. Unless I've got to put some fucking chat in there or something. No. Because that stream isn't connected. So if I click on here we go. Here we go. Oh, fucking excellent. Right, now, hang on. Customization, live reactions, off.
Save.
Oh, yeah, save.
And they go.
Way to go, dude.
Stuart, I have to leave him to it. He's got to find his own way. He just gets more frustrated if I say go there and go there.
Yes, you little bastards. You'd think you're getting the better of me. But no, I can't remember how I did it now. I've only just done it. How did I do it? Clicked into that one. Okay, yep. Right, let's get that up. Well, good afternoon and welcome.
Only 10 minutes.
Oh my Lord. Sorry about that, guys. I was in a bit of a panic again there. Tranquility, good afternoon. Mickey, Stuart, Holly, Paras. Pardon me. Who else we got up the list there? Mrs. Obviously, the lovely Mrs. W, who has been trying to help in the background there, but as usual, I've been taking not a scrap of fucking notice, and hence the mess I got in then. But now, and let me make a note of how I did it. Go live. Click on live. Change. There you go. No, that's just the way my brain's been working at the moment. I take it everybody can hear and see us okay. For some reason, obviously, the YouTube feed isn't as clear as we see here, although I have bumped it up to 720.
No, that's just what you say.
Yeah, true. Very true. The good news is I haven't got enough to get back, went shopping, Telford. Okay. Yeah, I haven't got enough hours left on my StreamYard to run today's stream till 7. But I've been in touch with StreamYard through their live chat, and I don't know whether they monitor. Christian, if you're out there, thank you very much. Yeah, they won't cut the stream midstream because I will be running out of hours halfway through the stream. But I won't be able to go live again until Sunday, until my hours reset. But they will be reset during the day, apparently. So Sunday, obviously, I'm deputising for Dan again. So we should be, fingers crossed, all clear for that. If there is any difficulties, then I will. What was I going to say? I can run a live through YouTube anytime. It just means I won't be able to have a panel. And I can't see any of the chat because I've left it halfway up the fucking line. Oh, what's going on here now?
You've got it highlighted.
I know. Under the blood red sky. Good afternoon, Debbie. Simon, I take it. God bless is in there somewhere then. Simon Hogg. Yeah, I'm all well here, mate. All well here. Hey?
You can't say God bless.
No, I saw the name Simon. He's
No, that's a boy with a big hog.
Yes. I've just seen the picture of it. How you doing, mate? Rippy, good afternoon, buddy. How you keeping? Yeah, I just see that, Holly. Thank you. You know what my eyesight and my brain's like? It just ceases to work. Oh dear. But there we go. I dare say God bless will drop in. He usually does. Pure Dance, good afternoon. No, all capitals, please, Pure Dance, or the comments will be removed. The only exception to the rule is Mickey, who we've known for some time now has sight issues. So I'll give you a free pass this time, but any comments in all capitals will be removed. What's the topic for today? Well, there is obviously what's going on out east. I don't go into it a lot because I don't really care what happens over there. But what I do care about is what happens here, and in particular, what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. Stitch, good afternoon, sweetheart. With their calling for the Million Body protest on Armistice Day. I don't support either side under a blood red sky, to be honest. It's a war that's been going on for many, many years, and it should have been ended by now. But yeah, but the only thing I worry about is what it's doing here in this country and how it affects us, not what's going on out there. As far as I'm concerned, if they're that dedicated to their country and religion, whatever, then they shouldn't be bitching about it. They should be over there fighting for whatever side they support. But they won't. They'll stand here and bitch. And causing us a lot of hassle in the meanwhile. Yes, it does. It creates tension, Holly. And that's what the government like. We know that. We know they like a lot of tension. The other thing I was going to bring up, we've only got 12 of you in here at the moment, so there's only 12 of you that are going to be wise to this. Now, when you get a community strike or any penalties on YouTube, there's normally a warning that stays on your channel, even after the 90-day period when they say you can't commit any more offences, I'll call them. Now, I've had one on my channel for well over 1.5 years, 2 years, from when I got a couple of videos took down and got banned for several weeks. Now, they're sending out messages to people with these, with the advisor. If you click here, you can take a learning course, and that warning will be removed from your channel. Now, I watched a video on this the other day that a lady put up. I don't know who she was, but she looked into it. She actually clicked on it. Now, basically what she said, and this is coming from something I've heard, not from me, because I haven't done it. When you click in it, you go through several stages, and at the end, you have to abide by certain things and agree to do so. A bit like the rules. It was YouTube themselves under a blood red sky, under medical information, apparently, which it wasn't. But yeah, you take this learning thing, and basically what you're doing is when you click in there and agree to it all, you are actually agreeing to the new censorship coming from the online safety bill. I just thought I'd put that out there. I haven't clicked on it. That warning's still on there. As far as I'm concerned, that threat was up 90 days after the offence, as it stated at the time. I haven't agreed to anything else since. But yeah, under the blood red sky, the information I gave was perfectly valid, as it did come from the Scottish Health Service. But unfortunately, I found it through another link, and I clicked the link where you've got to find a link to click on it. So it was second and third hand going down the line. So YouTube actually classed it as misinformation. If I clicked on the original link and posted that one, they wouldn't have been able to say a thing. The only platforms I do Pure Dance is Discord, YouTube. I have got a BitChute channel, but basically the only things I put in there are the videos that got took down off of YouTube because their censorship was way above what YouTube is. It was a lot more relaxed, shall I say. But you got to deal with a lot more idiots in there. I mean, I prefer YouTube. If I did get pulled down off here, yes, I probably would start up somewhere else. But at the moment, I'm comfortable with YouTube, with the way I learn things and do things. I find it difficult to swap over to different things. Like I've only just started using a new editing suite for my videos. And if I change from that and go to another one, it's another new learning thing. And it basically screws my head up trying to learn it all again. But yeah, that's the reason that I don't like changing. Yeah, YouTube, it is woke, Pure Dance, but you've also got to remember that it's one of the easiest ones out there to use. No, BitChute isn't user friendly, Holly. Far from it. I did have, actually, it was at the top. What was the other one I had, or did I remove it? No, I did have another one. I can't remember what platform it was on now. No, lost the plot. Smiler, good afternoon, mate. If you suddenly get pulled, where do you think you would go? Well, to start with, Rippy, it would be BitChute till I had a look around what was out there. I do put advertise and other stuff on Facebook, so I'd also go on there for a little while until I sort out what I was going to do. But to be honest, with what I do and to try and keep going, I do play by the rules. I do stay within the guidelines. As I've said before, yeah, sometimes I sail very close to them. But I do try and keep abreast of any changes. We've got to, unfortunately. Oh, what have I got written down here? Oh, that's just what I said. So YouTube and the other platforms controlled by very small groups. Yes, under Blood's Red Sky. BitChute is actually run from Andover in Hampshire. Smiler got a strike 2 days ago. Yeah, I've got no strikes on there, mate, at the moment. Just a warning from 2 years ago. I did have 2 strikes, and that's why the warning was a X's. I don't do Twitter, Stuart. I don't do Twitter. That is one of the ones that, to me, is just a waste of a time platform, to be honest. It's one of the worst ones for data harvesting. Not that all the others don't do it. We know that. But it would seem a lot of those of you that are using iPhones can claim compensation about over the batteries or something. Apparently, according to a video I saw earlier, can't remember who put it up now. Something about not being able to change the batteries because it's a sealed unit or something. Yeah, I know that is the problem, Pure Dance. Rumble has no rules. And to keep a decent thing going, Yeah, Blood Red Sky. We've chatted way back, haven't we? Yeah, well, the thing is with me, Uncle, or Luncle, however you pronounce that, at my age and with the brain fog and after the strokes, I find it hard to adapt to things. And I haven't been on the internet that long, compared to most people. It's only in the last recent few years that I've started to use it. So not only am I trying to learn to use the tech, I'm trying to use the stuff that's on it. And if I go through bigger steps, I get lost. Old Unk. That'll do, mate. That'll do. Old Unk.
I was just about to suggest
Yeah, you were just going to say it, was it? And it is a job that a lot of us oldies do face at times. I mean, Heather, the lovely Mrs. W in the background there, my tech support, and everything else involving my life. She's used it for years. She used it at work, and I didn't need it, so I never bothered learning it. Moo, good afternoon, bittersweet. Good afternoon to you. In case you missed it earlier on, guys, I will be covering Sunday night as well again this week. Yeah, hold on, I'm 62, mate. It's but it's not the age. I mean, I was still mountain biking until a few years ago, but with my medical health now has took a big dive over about the last 5 years, to the point where I'm knackered walking to the end of the street. I just haven't got it in me anymore. Hence why I'm stuck in front of these evil things most of the time. Well, I haven't got my email open for StreamYard to tell me you've run out of hours. Yeah, I was a bit worried about that. That's why I just said, okay, I'll get in touch with him. Pretty amenable guy. Assured me it wouldn't affect my account. But how are we all suffering with the weather out there? Get in a bit of chat and read some of the chat before we open the panel. I mean, to be honest, we haven't had a lot here. We've got nothing more than normal winds for this time of year. We've had a bit of extra rain, but 10,000 steps a day, it's keeping going. Yeah. Well, when I do go out, I do push myself out. If I call Yunk, it's easier. I have to walk to the hospital for my appointments. It's probably, best part, 3/4 of a mile possibly. I used to walk there to work every day, and it used to take me about 10 minutes if I was walking rather than riding the bike. Now it takes me anything up to an hour with a break in between, but I do push it. Heather's always offered a lift there. But I do prefer to walk because I know I've got to keep my legs going. Same as when I go around the chemist or the GP surgery. The town is in reach to me, but again, by the time I get there, I've had a rest, and I'll have to have a rest by the time I get there. So Smiler's got it fine. You're down in West Country, aren't you, Smiler? Grimsby's okay up north. It's not been bad. Yeah, we got another lot coming in this weekend, though. Particularly in the south again. Stuart, fine overcast, Northern Ireland. Yeah, I've been looking at some of the videos from over there, Stuart. I can start. Steve's little Stitch I'm looking at. Sound, nice one, Stitch. Yeah, this is the problem. I mean, I'm quite lucky with my treatment because I actually do get a bit of preferential treatment because where I get most of my treatment done, I worked there for 10 years. So most of them know me. Grandma, good afternoon. So I wouldn't say I get preferential treatment, but if they see me sat there, they don't leave me waiting. Let's put it that way. 300 press-ups a day. All that's raising for money. I'm broken. Broke and broken then. I mean, I used to get all the physical and exercise I needed with work. I mean, arms, legs, obviously mountain biking as well every weekend. But at the moment, I am fighting a bit of putting on weight, simply through inactivity more than anything. Resist. Good afternoon, mate. But I do what I can. Heather makes sure that my eating orders are, let's say, healthier than they used to be.
Except when we go on to the bacon bin.
Oh, yeah, except for the bacon. But everything tastes better with bacon. Don't matter what diet you're on. Bacon should always be included. We need to do more. Oh, God. So I've got the highlights and high breaking news. So if there's anything drastic happens, like somebody fires a missile or drops a bomb, we will know about it. But mainstream media are being called out all around it all at the moment. It's obvious. You know, the government have actually told people that you shouldn't believe everything you see in mainstream media, which was a bit of a turn.
Including the weather report.
Including the weather reports, yeah. They were told they're buying too much in assumptions and putting it out. Obviously, you got to give a little way to live reporters, but they were still wet. Yeah, well, I'd quite happily do the gym move, walk there and walk back. That's all the exercise I'd need. The Rev's the one for that. Simon Sideways, he's in the gym at 4 o'clock most mornings. But I couldn't do that. Not go on and do a full day's work afterwards. I mean, I used to do, what did I do when we were down in Cornwall? I'd probably do 2 to 3 sessions a week in the gym. Nothing heavy. But again, the work down there on the building and on the boats, you tended to keep fit during your normal working day. You hate gym.
So do I. That's my ex. We don't talk about him.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you spell it that way and spell it out to people when you say I'm going to see Jim. I've always said, why drive to a gym? Walk, get twice the exercise.
It depends how far away it is.
Well, yeah, most of them around here within half mile. There's one in the precinct. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Up above.
If you wanted to go up to Valentine's up at Beggar's Bush.
Yeah, there's one above what used to be Wilco's, and then there's another one in one of the warehouses round the industrial estate, round the back here by Screwfix.
Oh, there's quite a few around.
Well, it's no good going there if I can't do anything. That's the thing, Stuart. If you've got a job where you're active all day, moving things, pushing things, lifting things, that's all you need, unless you want to pump yourself up, I mean, you look at most of the coppers nowadays, they look like they spend every working hour in the bloody gym, but I'm convinced most of it is roids, because if you listen to them, they don't have time to go to the gym. Yeah, I haven't even got any notes in front of me today. That's unusual. Oh, I've got these here, haven't I? Which we can pick subjects from. Oh, obviously, we've got the COVID inquiry, haven't we? Yes. Don't need them. There's plenty going on around that. The ones you see in London, Grandma, the protests, particularly back a couple of years ago, a lot of those are military. They're not police. Most of the tactical support group are military. All military are trained in crowd and riot control, but they do extra training if you want to go on and do things like that. I don't know you was on the boat, Swatch. Yeah, it was Smiler. Me and my mate had a boat down there. We couldn't make it pay. We spent several years trying, and in the end, he had a lot more money than me. So he bought my share and basically used it for his own pleasure. All fishing. We did have a few pots. We were registered. We did the odd netting, but mainly it was rod and line and a little bit of chartering. But we used to do most of our pickups from Padstow during the summer. Don't know why. You seem to get a better class of client round there, shall I say. They didn't climb on the boat with boxes of beer and and I worked on a few of them down there as well on the odd occasion.
One of the few things you get at McDonald's is a nice donut and a cup of coffee.
Afternoon, Debbie. But yeah, on the fishing down there, I was also the local rep for the Sea Angler Association. So I used to go to the general meetings, AGMs and that up in Plymouth, and I did one in London as well concerning the rod and line fishing, what was happening with records and rules.
Whether you were still as good as everybody else.
But yeah, this COVID inquiry, wow. It seems to me that there's really three asses on the line over it all. One is Boris, but we know he was just a puppet to the rest of them. That's exactly what they've been saying. And the big two are obviously Hancock of medical shit. And then if it does start coming out, you've got Patel over what she was doing over the lockdown, in particular with the police, as she was the one that was supposed to be in charge of them back then. Yeah, it's honestly, mate, I'm going back a lot of years, and the arse just dropped out of the market. Most of them are struggling now. A lot of them went over to the spider crabs because they could sell them to the French. Yeah, you weren't putting enough manure around them, Moo.
They need a lot of watering.
Yeah, it needs a lot of watering. But yeah, every one of them there has thrown somebody under a bus somewhere. And obviously Cummins, demonic Cummins, as I call him, his was the most damning evidence. But there doesn't seem to be a lot on it today, so they obviously want their early Friday finish in the house. So I dare say that will be resumed Monday. I will be keeping an eye out to see if anything's said over the weekend on it. Right, we should only have been going 13 minutes. We've been going about half an hour now. But there again, if I need to finish early, I can, can't I? So, right, I will open up the panel. Bear in mind, guys, that I will be verifying people in the back room. As you know, I run zero tolerance for clowns and trolls in here. Yeah, well, some of the stuff that come out, Smiler, what I actually liked was the things that we knew anyway, like the Cobra meetings being scripted. I don't drink, Debbie. For the benefit of the media, basically, because a lot of information was withheld from them. Bear in mind, this is the emergency committee for emergencies in this country. We're having information and data withheld from them, same as SAGE and some of the others, over the fears of national safety. So those making the decisions at the time didn't even have the data and the information they needed to make decisions. Not that they made the right ones anyway, even when they were given the data and the facts. That's right, Debbie. It's not a problem, darling. I quit drinking about 15 years ago. Probably one of the best things I ever did, but I don't preach to people unless it's Dan. Oh, and you, yeah. But no, I lost some good friends through drink. And it used to play on my mind, especially with the amount I used to drink.
Plus, Doc said no.
Yeah.
What were your tablets?
Plus, with the meds I've been on for about the last 10 years, I shouldn't have been drinking anyway. So, but that, that's a personal choice. I'm in a bad way already, and I'd rather do what I can to survive that bit longer, shall we say. But the new treatment levels seem to be affecting me a bit more, but I won't know if they're doing any good until... where are we? I've got another round of a treatment this month, and then I've got one 3 weeks after that, including a phone call with my consultant. So I won't know any more until then, to be honest. The problems with the strokes and that they haven't even bothered checking. That they've already told me that they might get a bit worse, but they won't get any better. So basically, shut up and live with it. But the problems with the blood is a bit worrying, not knowing what it is. They've assured me it isn't cancer, although it can be cancerous. This type isn't, apparently. So I dodged the bullet on that one for now. Not saying that it couldn't happen in the future, but yeah, but you're in a different time zone, Para. You got to remember, sometimes I'm in a different dimension, depending on what I'm smoking at the time. But no, I stick to my Go Juice, and I limit the amount of that I drink. Rubber Chuck, good afternoon. But yeah, this COVID inquiry, I mean, I said it on the live the other day. It's going to go on for some time, and I said at the time when it was all kicking off, it's going to take between 5 and 10 years for us to even know the whole truth. 40 minutes till the first. You on a timer, are you, Moo? What I used to do was set my limits. Right, I'm not going to drink any more than this. And then you get to that limit, and that limit goes out the bloody window, and the limit becomes when you pass out. And that's about how well my drinking used to go. Yeah, this is the thing, Grandma. Now, a lot of people no, I'm not back in the government here. Far from it. You know how I hate them bastards. But they've got a group that we know of, the 77th, that monitors media every form of communications, basically, that goes in or out of Parliament. Now, they were even withholding stuff from the ministers. The ministers weren't always seeing what people were saying or what anybody was saying, because they were shielded even from mainstream media on occasions. And this is why I say that they couldn't make informed decisions. And you've got the other fact is that they hadn't been through this before. They panicked. They didn't know what to do. The things that should have been in place for it many years ago weren't. And they didn't learn from the one back in 76. Yes, it was a different virus, but they didn't learn anything. Oh, sorry. Do you want me to come and get that? Yeah, as I said in them videos I did on the swine flu outbreak, they didn't handle it well. They didn't learn anything from it.
I'll leave it for later.
And they actually made the same mistakes they did back then. I mean, that's all history. It's documented history for people to look at before they delete it. But if anybody's interested in what happened, if you go back through my video backlog, it was back when I had a single setup with a laptop, unfortunately. But there's 2 videos on there, a lesson from history, part 1 and part 2. One is about the original outbreak and what happened around that and how protection was spread, shall I say, put it that way. And the second one actually covered a story about one of the victims of it. And it was a UK story, because there was some horrible things happened here. And it's the story of a nurse, in fact. But it's all researchable. It's all out there on the internet. Yeah, Smiler, their birth rate has dropped by nearly 2/3. All right, James. There's your mate in there. And it's not just Italy, mate. It's all over Europe. It only stands out with the figures in Italy because, as you know, the Italians are a very, very family-orientated country. And they do like to have big families. And recently, it's been dropping off. And that's what brought it to the attention of a lot of people. Like a lot of things, you know, mainstream media only pick up on it if it's something like that. But whether they're going to say the right thing, I mean, the BBC have been told stop being so far right. On the other hand, are they going to tell Labour to stop being so far left? No, because the BBC openly supported the narrative, shall I say. But they've turned now and they're starting to put things out there that the government don't like. And hopefully over the next year or two, we will see the death of the BBC. It will be there in other forms, obviously, whether it be online, subscription, which I think is fair because all the others do. Why should they be any exception? Hey?
Can't spell. I can't see my keyboard.
What you done?
I can't type properly.
Oh, do you want the light on behind you?
I'm going to go and do it in just a moment.
Can you get me a can of Coke while you're up?
Oh. I'm going to the loo as well. Can I have a pee for you while I'm there?
Yeah, just bring a bucket back. It'll be all right. But yeah, that inquiry is exposing a lot of stuff. We knew a lot of it went on. Yeah, I'm not interested in who partied with who. who bought the drinks. But when one says she was asked to bring a karaoke machine in, it was obvious what was going on. We all did it. We broke the rules. The difference was we got prosecuted for it. Well, I didn't. Because I knew the rules. I knew what the rules were and what was law. There's a big difference between law and advice. So I'm just trying to interact more with the chat this week, people. Obviously, once the panel kicks off, I don't get a chance to. I find it hard to concentrate on everything. You know, not just because I'm a typical man and can't multitask. There's a lot of stuff out there on it, Smiler. Yeah, not too bad, James. Not too bad. A bit of a panic again, trying to figure out how to get them fucking hearts out of the chat. But now I know the routine and how to do it. It just means I have to wait until we actually go live so I can do it. I can't find another way around it. Because you actually have to go into the stream that you're streaming from StreamYard to do it. The only other way is actually stream from YouTube on its own. But it looks like it resets on every stream. So you have to go into the menus and click on it. I know, Jake, I hate the damn things. From a moderating point of view, they're an absolute friggin' nightmare. They really are. I don't quite know how they work on mobiles, obviously, because I don't do YouTube or any internet work on my mobiles. I'm just desktop based. I've got enough to cope with and learn. But apparently now I have got enough subscribers. If I wanted to go live outside, I could. But that would mean setting one of my phones up and what have you. And no. Yeah, Smiler, they've been around for a while, and it is just one of them things that they've shoved in. And I think it's purely to annoy people. It certainly does annoy moderators. Thank you, darling. Look at that. Brilliant waitress service. You don't get any better than that. I shouldn't say that, really. Shouldn't abuse somebody's love like that.
Why not? You do it all the rest of the time.
Yes, Stuart. That is the only good thing about these storms. Is yeah, it stops them coming. It's the only thing that does. And, you know, Sunak said the other day, oh, we've had a certain percentage reduction and now they're coming, how many are coming across? No, it's just that we've had some real bad weather lately and they ain't been able to get across. And I thought in my 40s, I'd get excited. Well, we actually got some blackout ones last time, Stuart, and it does make a difference. Not just for light coming through, they do stop a lot more sound, and they also do keep the room warmer. Funny enough.
It also helps stop the trick-or-treaters.
Yeah. But mind you, I'm scary enough when I open the door to them anyway. What you want to do is save all them little sachets up, innit, when you go to McDonald's and takeaways and put them out in a bowl on the doorstep. See how many of them disappear. More likely to be squirted up the door. Yeah, black thermal ones. Yes. Are you going to go on this one the weekend, Holly? the ghost hunt one, or do you still not feel up to it? I know you said you was umming and ahhing about it. I mean, just an update on Dan. He is having quite a good time, to be honest. We'll put it there, leave it there. He was hoping to be in Sunday, but things have come up and nice things, so he probably won't be. So I've agreed. Yeah, I'll jump up and fill in again. This isn't a big. No, I think we only, what did we have? One knock on the door.
Yeah.
And
I was moving around out there, so I was seen.
And the thing is, any boxes of sweets bought into this house
don't last.
They haven't got a great life expectancy with me about. Especially if they're covered in chocolate. So the more I can keep away from the door, the more's left for me. But no, they're round here. They're pretty good. I don't mind the youngsters, but it's the older ones that just stand there and expect money, and you know damn well they're going to go out and buy a couple of cans of beer or something with it, or some laughing gas.
You would have done.
Well, yeah, I would have done. But there again, we didn't do trick or treating. We stood on the corner with the old soapbox with a bloody guy in it collecting pennies there. That was the only way we got anything for bonfire night, and we didn't do anything for Halloween.
Wasn't a big thing in those days.
No, it's the Americans hijacked it, like they do most holidays.
But we always copy the Americans, so the fact that they have a big do about it, you know, we should as well. And yeah, when I was younger, it was fun.
Oh, we never done it.
I mean, when I got the kids when I was younger, not when I was a teenager.
Well, now you are showing your age, Grandma. Yes, I can just remember people moaning about, oh, we only got a lump of coal. Well, yeah, go and put it on the fire. You can keep warm then.
That was Christmas. You got a lump of coal.
Yeah, usually in your stocking. It's true. Yeah. Basically, the only reason I wanted money was to go and pay for petrol for my little dirt bike that I had at the time.
A loaf of beer, James.
Loaf of beer?
Is that a loaf of beer and a pint of bread?
Oh, I never done carol singing. No way I'm identifying as another gender to go and sing under a different name.
I went carol singing most years as a teenager.
Yeah, but you can sing. You were in a fucking band.
Not in them days.
Yeah, I like that video I put out. Was it yesterday? No, Thursday. Oh yeah, yesterday. The town, little village or whatever it is. I think it's down in Kent, where they've actually got the bonfire committee and they burn effigies of famous people and politicians. But to actually set up a committee with official uniforms and robes and stuff like that. I mean, apparently it started as a bit of fun and it became a bit of a tradition down there. So, but I'd never actually heard of it before. And someone else did a video on it, so I'll go and have a look at that. But they've done all sorts through the years with celebrities, politicians, all sorts of people. Oh, you mean for Halloween? Ah, no, I don't sing for Halloween. Unless it's, I might put on Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare, or something like that.
What did Stuart go singing for Halloween?
Yeah, well, what did you actually sing on Halloween, Stuart? Yeah, exactly,
70s.
Stitch. Just see what anybody else used to do anything different. I mean, there was some weird traditions down in Cornwall. Smiler will know them. Around these sort of festivals, you got the RBOS, and most of them are pagan.
All the
Funny
best
enough.
festivals are, including Christmas
including Christmas.
and Easter
Yeah, I like
and
Easter.
Halloween.
I can go door to door, give my own rendition of Rob Zombie Dracula. Yeah, but come on, Ollie. To be honest, you could put a little schoolgirl's uniform the size of you and knock on the door as a kid and get given sweets anyway. Yeah, they all are, Smiler. They're all pagan. But again, this is something they don't teach kids nowadays. It's like that meme that's always popping up on Facebook, where the kid gets accused of lying and he just brings up Father Christmas, the Easter Bunny, and you accuse me of lying.
Fairy.
Yeah, Tooth Fairy. Yeah, that's another one. You know, did anybody else pull their own teeth out as a kid to put under the pillow because you were skint? And it never worked when you didn't tell your parents you'd lost a tooth, did it? It was only when they knew.
Stuart, that makes you more pagan than most, because he's one of the few that isn't pagan.
Who went pagan? Who
Guy Fawkes.
Oh, Guy Fawkes, yeah. The only
He's a
man
lovely
to
man.
ever enter Parliament with honest intent. But the thing is, that's how antiquated our government is. They're still in the same fucking building. Are the cellars still there? You know, you could do a modern version, couldn't you? You wouldn't need to sneak in barrels and barrels of gunpowder. All you'd need is a bit of deck cord and demolition cord. Wrap it around the pillars that hold the place up. Boom, down it comes. Hopefully till about 7, James. I'm very short on the hours on StreamYard because I only have the free one, but they have assured me they won't cut the stream midstream. I just won't be able to fire up another stream until Sunday when the hours get reset. Yeah, exactly, Rippy. I mean, I managed, I was one of the lucky ones. I managed to get registered with an NHS dentist during lockdown. But they fucked me about, and even on the NHS, they charged me over 200 quid for a new set of false teeth, and I've never been able to wear them. And I went back and told them that, and they wouldn't do anything. And I thought, okay, fine. I went for a checkup after that, and they wanted to charge me, even though I was NHS, they wanted to charge me over 20 quid for that. I said, so you're going to charge me 20 quid, even though I'm NHS and I've only got 7 teeth left in my fucking head. I said, you can stuff it. And I walked out. As I was walking out, she said, well, what are you going to do about the ones you got left? I said, well, when they're annoying me, I'll knock the bastards out. No, you can't do that. I said, well, you ain't going to do it. But all I've got is 7 on the bottom. No, you don't, Grandma. No, I'm not anal about it, but I like to know things are in place. And I knew I didn't have enough hours. And luckily enough, with StreamYard, if you go into the live chat thing, when you go into your account and that, you do actually get to live type with somebody rather than just getting automated answers to type questions. And as I said earlier, a nice guy, Christian, assured me that no, the stream shouldn't be cut and the hours would reset as normal on the 5th, which is Sunday.
So if
Paul,
it does
good
go
afternoon.
off shortly, Christian's a liar.
Yeah. So if all of a sudden I disappear after 1.5 hours, Christian's lied to me. But the way they worded it in the rules and that, it just said they won't cut you off in a live stream. But it did say at the end, but it means you won't be able to open another stream, which to me, do they block your account because you've gone over? And that was what I wanted to check. And apparently they don't. So fair play, StreamYard. The only reason I don't pay for your upgraded product is because I don't need it usually. But with my 20 hours free that I get, that does normally give me my 4 live streams, which are usually 3 hours. And it does give me 8 hours left over, which allows me to do 2 PAP streams with the timescale we use on that. And that's really why the extra was used up. But coming up this Sunday, then yeah, I've got another 20 hours, so I'm well within the scope. Another grand for them to be fixed. Fucking hell. Well, I'll be honest. I mean, I bypassed the dentist last time I had a set made. I don't think you can do it now, which you'll realise in the timescale. About 25 years ago, I broke my plate and I was sent to a lab rather than the dentist. Someone recommended a lab who used to make the plates up for the NHS, but he also done them on the side. And I explained the situation. I was going on holiday in a few days' time. And he said, well, where they're broken, he said, that's where the most pressure is. And he made me a setup in 3 days that had titanium mesh in them. They were half the thickness of the NHS ones. They've been really comfortable. And as I say, that's over 25 years ago. And I'm still using them now. And they are a bit worn down. But I've still got the other new ones they made me, and I can't wear them. It feels like I'm wearing a gum shield. You can't talk, you can't drink, you can't breathe properly in them. But again, the government is supposed to be sorting the dentists out. I haven't seen them do anything. Most of the dentists have either fucked off or they've gone private. That's it. They don't accept NHS at all.
If there is one, it'll be on that link I've just posted because that's how I found mine. Do have to travel out of my local area, but at least it was NHS, not private.
22 grand to 30 grand for a set of chops. I'd rather liquidise my food. You can buy a lot of liquidisers with that.
What was that for? Implants?
I have no idea. That was rubber chuck.
No, dude, a friend of Donna's, when her mum passed, she spent 30 grand on a set of implants. Didn't look after them, and she's got no teeth left now.
Yes, Stuart. Believe it or not, when I was living in Bristol, when I bought my house there, Bristol has got a large orthodontic teaching hospital. Now, as long as you didn't mind waiting, you could go and sit in there if you had any problems. They would see you as soon as possible. You would get free treatment under supervision from the students. If it was something that the teacher would need to step in and do, the tutor, they'd step in and do it. That was all free. The only thing you ever had to pay for in there was x-rays. In fact, they never even charged me for the Novocaine when they used to freeze it for free treatment. And it was basically like a walk-in centre. You could make appointments for other stuff in there, but it was first come, first serve, as it were. You walk in the door. If there's 10, you sit at the end of the line. If you're the only one there, you're straight in. Tory Rob Stewart has just been found guilty of racial abuse for telling a protester to go back to Bahrain. I wouldn't say that was racial abuse. And to be honest, how did he know the person came from there? He might have been born here. A lot of them are born over here and got citizenship, British citizenship. But yeah, this is the way. Even the law's biased, Paris, over here now. Always has. Well, has been for quite some years. Just to repair.
No, I'm sorry, and I'm just going to say P, but for a long time now, the phrase "P go home," has been racial abuse.
Yeah.
So totally, 100%. Yeah. Doesn't matter how you put it. P go home is offence. It's offensive, especially as Roger says, if people are born over here, or they're not a P.
But it's like I said. Now it's more of an offence to be British in England than it is to be anybody else in this country, no matter what you do. If you're British, you're causing an offence straight away, and they'll take more notice of that than they will of you. They've shown it time and time again. And even now, where they're arresting people for waving a Union Jack, there are even now coppers still wearing the Union flag on their fucking flak jackets. What does that tell you?
Rubber Chuck, I know you said not implants. If you're in England, and I don't know whether it's the same in Scotland, if you are treated under the NHS, there is a maximum they can charge for a period of treatment. It's about £400, £500, I think now. Used to be a couple of hundred, but there is a max. I might be wrong, might only be £3. So if they're talking that sort of money, it's got to be work that can't be done under the NHS, such as implants. That's the only reason I went for implants.
They won't do anaesthetic dental work on the NHS. Even repairs to them. They used to. I mean, I had my front top 3 were capped, but they put the metal roots in and did all that. But there again, I was only, when did I get them knocked out? 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, it's only in the last, I think, 5 years that they've brought in that you can have a bridge done on the NHS. Because if you'd only got 1 or 2 teeth missing, it was a denture or nothing. They would not do bridges. But you can now have a bridge on the NHS. Why do I know so much about NHS dentistry?
Are you on Top Chat or Live Chat, Stuart? You can refresh your YouTube, but make sure at the top that you click back into Live Chat. Otherwise, you'll only be seeing Top Chat.
It does that to you as the default. I wish it was the other way around.
Yeah, no matter what it does, if anything glitches, it always reverts to top chat. Oh, pardon me. This is where I used to go wrong. I'd refresh the page and I'd be looking at the comments. Oh, people aren't saying a lot. I realise I'm on top chat. Usually most of the top chat's used for making donations and stuff like that. And but I don't get anything on here. I don't want anything. I never expect anything. And that's why I haven't put the options like that in there. You don't have that option on a live. You should do, Stuart. Up above the chat, there should be a box where it says live chat or top chat, and you should be able to pick between the two. If you can't, then YouTube are pissing you about. I think you can see it on the phone, can't you? And change it. The top chat and live chat.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew there was, because there's different levels as well, Stuart. Rubber Chuck, sorry, down here on what benefits you claim entitles you to different levels. But what they do is they don't charge per appointment; they charge per treatment. So when I went for these dentures, that was including, to be honest, having 5 out, 3 fillings in the existing 7, and making the plate up. And that was all included in that. All of that treatment mentioned was that under that one price. It wasn't priced per treatment.
Band 1 is £25.80, which is a minimum charge. Band 2 is £70.70, and band 3 is £306.80.
There you go. Thank you, darling. Gonna reboot device. All right, Stuart. No worries. We'll see you shortly. Now, I've heard that problem happening a lot now on live streams at the moment. A lot of weird things coming on and coming out from YouTube, not just on live streams, but on videos as well. Dan actually had a video removed, a live stream from his backlog last week. It was an impromptu live one on, I think it was a Thursday. I personally can't remember what was said on that night because it's quite a while ago. But apparently that's been removed for medical misinformation. So they're obviously looking at your backlog of videos as well. Obviously they haven't got round to mine yet. But to be honest, if it was something back then that was classed as misinformation but has now been proved as fact, I really don't see how they can remove it now. It should have been removed at the time. So I think what's happening is people are going back through videos. Probably some of this lot that the WEF have employed, 10,000 to disrupt the media sites and platforms. You know, they probably go through, look at videos and go, right, we'll report that one. And as we know, if something's been reported, 9 times out of 10, you're guilty until proved innocent by YouTube, and they'll take the video down. So you got to balance up whether it's worth jumping through their silly fucking hoops and appeals just to get a video up that shouldn't have been took down. Yeah, he does, Mickey. He does, especially with what he done the other week. But to be honest, a lot of people are saying his channel's disappeared now as well. But the thing is, there's been so many complaints made about him himself and nobody's done anything. But I don't give them time on here. I don't talk about them. Why keep feeding them? I don't go anywhere where they do. And as you all know, that's probably one of the reasons I don't get a lot of viewings, is because I am zero tolerance on idiots.
You mean you're a miserable Watson?
Yeah, I'm a grumpy old git in the corner. Why do you think I called the channel that? And to be honest, as I've always said, the streams, yes, we discuss things I've put in my videos. We discuss things that other people have put in videos. We've discussed things that are in the news. But I try to stay away from most of the stuff I do in the videos, because it is a little bit of relief. Try and have a little bit of fun about it.
I've just stuck that in there.
Retro, remove my live stream 11 and warned me. Yeah, sometimes you can get them put back up, but they never give you exactly what the issue is. Now, one of my videos they took down. I wanted to go back and look at what I apparently did wrong, and they didn't give the reason. They just said medical misinformation. Now, I only did give one bit of medical information out in there. As I said, I posted the link the wrong way about it. The information was genuine. The information was fact. And they always said the only medical information that should be posted is from the NHS and verified medical associates of them, which it was, which is National Health Scotland. But because I posted a link to a link,
on another page.
On another page, yeah. I was a lot more green with tech than I am now back then. So I didn't know. I just knew I could post links, so I posted it. That was the first one. And I believe the second one was medical misinformation as well, wasn't it?
I'm knowing you probably.
Because that was the 90-day one. No, 2 weeks, that one was. It was a week, 2 weeks. And but why, they wouldn't say. They wouldn't tell me where in the video it was. I went back and looked at my copy of the video, and I couldn't see anything in there. But at the time, I was just, I can't be bothered to appeal it. Just move on. It is a 5-10 minute video at most. But as I say, at the moment, we're all going to have to do it. Unfortunately, I am trying to play within the rules. And if anybody's bringing up stuff or saying anything about a topic that could bring the channel into a little bit of strife over it, then I will ask you very politely to drop the subject, as it were. After all, we can't do this if I haven't got a channel. We know people would only get off on getting people's channels pulled down. In fact, I think that's where I'm quite lucky, having a smaller channel than most. I mean, but we are over 500 subs now. Welcome to the new ones, if you're in the background there. Not everybody enjoys the live streams. Some just come for the videos. Some just come for the live streams. But
I've saved that information, by the way, in case anybody asks in the future. The link to how to find a dentist and the dental costs.
We could turn into a free health service, health advice service.
Well, I like Googling things.
Want to know anything? I'll go around and ask my nursey friends. Good afternoon, Tony. Well, we're not far off. Good evening now, are we?
I'm playing personal secretary to 500 people. Just don't get paid very well.
Yeah, you'll have to start your own channel.
people that are too idle to Google.
Yeah. Well, that's what used to piss me off during the pandemic and lockdown. Now, yeah, the videos weren't very good quality, what I was doing back then. It was done with a phone and just put out for a laptop, no opening titles, no nothing. I didn't even have an editing suite. It was just raw video. And I did a lot of research to get the information I was putting out. A lot more research than I need to do now. And you used to get people on, oh, yeah, I'll tell them where you can find it. But I'm like, well, why don't you go and do your own bloody research? I've told you about it. Now go and look at it. I'm not anybody's workhorse. If you're sat in the front of a computer moaning at me, what's this, what's that, then you're perfectly capable of going and looking at it for yourself. And it's just easier to point people in the right direction. That way you can't get accused of twisting what's there, Yeah, exactly, Holly. Exactly. I mean, I don't mind helping people. Like today. I mean, that with the prices and that about dental work. No, I'd have talked about it, but I wouldn't have bothered going and researching that. But as I have a lovely assistant in the background who's good enough to do that without even prompting, let's see.
Well,
This is what I like. That's helped people now. And that is probably a bit of help you wouldn't have got from me if I was here on my own.
Like I say, that's UK. So Scotland may be different, but normally it's cheaper for the NHS in Scotland. But to me, it says that the work wouldn't be covered by NHS. It may be dental hospital rather than private. But Donna's had a bridge and I couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Luckily enough, my last boss, when I was doing the building maintenance and repairs, understood that, and he also understood that I took a bit longer to make sure I did the proper job, and he liked the fact that I used to do it. It was a listed building, wasn't it?
What? Oh yeah, the Morsel, yeah.
Grade 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a grade 2 listed building. So if the very worst, it had to look like the original from the outside. But he liked the fact that I used to do the jobs with the traditional tools. Like you wouldn't catch me with an electric plane. I'd be there with my hand plane. I wouldn't use a router on any of the work there. Again, I'd use the shaped blades on another plane, a special one for edging. I very rarely use power tools. I used to use hand tools. And he liked that. And he'd said he'd rather pay for me to take that a bit longer to do it that way, so it's done right. 3 up, press up for 30 days. And yeah, I mean, I used to go around car boot sales and I used to buy some of these antique planes and restore them just so I could actually use them at work. Most of my chisels, in fact, I was using a couple of chisels the other day. Who do you see now using wooden handled chisels? They're all plastic, Oh, and I've still got the full set of those, right up to 3 inches, 2.5 inch, I think it is. But that's just the way I like to work. I have got modern power tools and what have you, but that's usually for me projects at home, or when I used to do a lot of projects. I mean, my mate built, well, it wasn't exactly a tree house, It was like a tree house, but on legs mingled in with a tree. It wasn't actually resting on the tree. We built it for his kid with a little veranda and railings round it.
See you later, Stuart.
All right, Stuart. Catch you later, buddy. Take care, mate. And he wanted a door and a window in it. He said, just a normal opening, close, 2-inch job. Obviously scaled down because it only needed to be about 3.5, 4 foot tall. And I just done some drawings. And next time he come round, it had a proper stable door, like a little cottage, 2-piece door. It had the frame for the window with double opening windows with separate panes in. I used plexiglass rather than real glass for safety. And he's like, all it needed was a door. I said, well, we've made such a nice job of the rest of it. Let's finish it off properly. And that's just the way I work. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few jobs around the house here that I've got to do. Again, it's a lot to do with the fatigue because there's a floorboard that needs sorting out, and it's got all the plumbing under it. Now, if I get halfway through that and feel, I'm knackered now, I'll finish off tomorrow, that leaves a lot of ifs, buts, and dangers unknown there without it being covered properly. So that's one I've got to sort out. I've got the garden to finish off for the winter. There's probably 10 minutes hedge cutting, but that'll feel like 2 hours work to me. The grass has got its final cut. I can normally handle that, although it does tire me out, but I can normally handle that. But at the end of the day, I don't go too deep into the property maintenance on here because at the end it's a council house.
Smiler's asking about the chisels.
About the what?
Your chisels.
No, I don't know what make they are, mate. Some of them were my grandfather's and some of them were Heather's father's. I don't think I've ever seen any name stamps on them, to be honest. I mean, that one I made a new handle for because the other one was split when I got given it. And I don't even remember seeing a name on the tang. No, there's nothing on there at all, nothing on the brass work either. You saying that, I'll have to have a look at some of the other ones out there, see if they've got on, because they're not, a total set, although it's a set of the range of sizes. They're not all from the same manufacturer. But I preferred them back then because the steel's better. They get a better edge. I have got marples. What's the other one? I've got some. What's the Swedish one? Oh, bugger if I can remember now. Not Irwin's. But I have got 2 other sets out there, modern ones. How large is the yard? We've got a patio and a lawn. We're in England. Typical council house. But we have got off-street parking out the front, and there is room on there once it was slabbed for 3 cars. Yeah, I did. I bought a property in Bristol some years back. I lost the property to an ex-partner, actually. When we bought it, it quite clearly hadn't even been decorated from the 40s or the 50s. It still had the original wallpaper, back boiler, and the usual sort of shit that was fitted back then. And I totally gutted the place. I even replastered it. And got it how I wanted it, basically. It was a shame to lose it, but I would never go to that extent in this one, simply because it's council. I have replaced some of the floor and the boards in this room that were rotten and collapsed, and I literally only done that myself, and I didn't tell them I'd done it because I didn't trust them to do the job properly. I know how they work. I've seen their work, and I've got to sit on top of that. I'm going to repair that. Yeah, Grandma. We've got a lawn 20 meters long by probably 7 meters wide, and then a patio a little bit wider near the house, and then I've got the 2 sheds out there, one little workshop and one prefab shed, garage, which is falling over. Mine, the top one was my little man cave, but since lockdown, it's just had all manner of stuff thrown in there, from bikes to fishing tackle to heaters and fans, and I can't even bloody move in there at the moment, and I just haven't got the energy to get in there and sort it out. I will do. A couple of my mates have said they've come round and give me a hand. One is the future son-in-law, Kev, who's a real good lad. He comes round and quite often helps out with the garden. And another one is a good mate that I used to ride the bikes with, that still calls in on a regular basis. So I've got the help there. It's just getting it organised. Hopefully we get a skip in and we can clear everything out the garden as well. Probably go through the house as well, because we got a fair bit that could go in a skip. Like me. That it's just one of them things that I had been on about getting round to, and then of course my medical issues come up and everything kind of got put on hold until I find out what I can do and what I can't. Yeah, but Grandma, I used to do garden maintenance and property maintenance like that. The family had a landscaping firm back home, and maintenance was part of it. My job at the hospital was a groundsman. I mean, in the summer with the grounds, I was walking behind a mower 8 hours a day, some days, probably 2 days, 3 days a week. It does sound like an easy job, but it isn't, because your mind wanders, because it's just mind-numbing. And the thing is, if you put headphones in and start listening to music, you can't concentrate on what you're doing either. And when you're around people with the equipment, you've got health and safety to think about, which they are hard on. Yeah, it is a lot of work.
Kept him fit.
Yeah, it did keep me fit. Yeah, trouble is, I'd be too tempted to grow other stuff in there, and out of that, it's going to produce part of it that I don't want, basically. What I'd call my type of tomato plants, the actual fruit of the plant, shall I call it, that you would consume, is the part that I don't need, and I don't need that to do what I do with it now. You do someone smoke by smoking from a pipe.
You haven't got a proper pipe. Uncle,
to be honest, it ain't going to make a lot of difference. Hi, Loafer.
Uncle, I had one of these little polythene greenhouses a few years ago. It was taken into the neighbours by one of these storms that we had, even though it was well bolted down.
I screwed it to the fence at one point, didn't I? Bloody 4-inch screws through the posts.
There's no point growing things like that, because he doesn't eat veg.
I do. Peas. Green beans.
They don't need a greenhouse.
No, no. We don't grow any.
For the amount you eat, it's not worth it.
What's Luther on about you? I have a wandering mind, it buggered off one day and found Mine used to wonder, mate. I woke up one day and didn't know how I got across the Avonmouth Bridge and was stood in the middle of it, and that kind of worried me and shook me to my senses. That was well, I did. I had a breakdown at the time. I had a lot going on in my life, and it sent me over the top. And that was when I decided to sort my life out. With a Sherlock Holmes style pipe. Evening, Bulldog. Trouble is, Grandma, with any type of pipe, when you've got false chops, it kind of rattles. When you're walking about, it sounds like you got a pair of castanets in your gob.
Right.
Yep.
Put the avocado picture up.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell. Oh, is it on? Where did you put it? Because I haven't got Facebook open. Did I copy it?
You put it onto Discord.
Yeah, but I may have copied it in.
Well, I don't know where you put it, but I know
if
you
I
put
did, it would be in here. Boom, 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 boom. No.
Now, I can assure you this is not Roger. It is definitely not, but I came across it and I couldn't believe the similarity of the
Right,
one guy
I'm going to have to...
to my...
Oh, no, I
You
can...
lost it.
No, hang on, because I'm still trying to figure all this shit
Open
out.
that onto big screen.
Yeah, and then share the screen.
Yeah, can you zoom in anymore?
Yeah, I can do it like that.
Can you zoom in anymore?
No. But I can move the...
But you can share that screen.
Yeah, you're going to love this. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, to be honest. Very uncanny. Why isn't it? Ah, there we go. I've got to click on it. Now, how close to that?
It's all right. I'm waiting for it to come up on my stream before I comment. So leave it up. There we go. I can assure you that is not the size of his belly.
We won!
One of the reasons why I know it's not him.
There's no scar across there from me bypass. I mean, there's no way with the burns up my legs, hair grows like that. I do not wear ankle socks with flip-flops because it's obviously, that looks like what he does.
No, it's a sock line. It's just flip-flops. And he's got a sock line in his hair.
And even at my biggest, which was just under 18 stone, I did not have a belly like that.
But the face, even down to the fact that it's got a cigarette in it, just, yeah. I saw that. That's brilliant. I know it's not, but...
yeah. She actually posted it to me on Facebook. That was the first time I saw it. And, of course, everybody else had seen it before me. Good evening, wee one. Hope you're fine. But, oh, hello. What have I got going on over here? Oh, yeah, that was where I just found that picture on it. But how uncanny. I've got a doppelganger.
I did think about contacting the person that posted the actual
yeah
thing
see if they know who it
and
is.
saying, do you know, excuse me, do you know who this is, because this is my other half.
Well, you actually thought it was my head photoshopped on there, didn't you?
No, what I said was, it looks like your face has been photoshopped onto another body. But that's me saying the face looks like you, but the rest isn't.
Well, I wish I could put it on another body.
Yeah, Photoshop
Take this broken
doesn't
one
work
away and give me a new one.
Photoshop doesn't work in real life, love.
Pregnant avocado. Now, if mine was in there like that, it's got enough wrinkles on it that it would actually look like the stone in the middle. I've never seen an avocado stone that smooth.
They are actually.
But I mean, yeah, great idea. I thought it was funny as hell. Yeah, not too bad, wee one. Some of the extra symptoms or worsening symptoms that I was getting from the extra treatment, the extra blood they're taking out, are slightly starting to calm down. I've got to go again on the 16th to have a load more taken out of me.
Yes, it looks just like him, but like I said, that's definitely not his body. Definitely not. But
No.
I couldn't believe the likeness.
Absolutely not. Too short for a chip thing, anyway. No, what am I, 5'10"? Well, you don't know how tall the other bloke is, do you?
No.
That's the thing.
And you can't see it now, but when I met him, he did look a bit like Sean Connery.
Yes, Miss Moneypenny.
Didn't say you sounded.
She used to call me Sean Connery.
Even your uncle said it was true.
Yeah, but he's half blind, isn't he?
No, he just thinks I'm wonderful.
He thinks everybody's wonderful because he's half blind. No, I don't, wee one. I pace myself. I'm learning my limitations on some things, but the problem is, and Dan gets the same at times, you don't know what the levels are going to be for any given day. So you can't really make too many plans ahead to do things, as it were. You know, you could be great. Yep, I'm full of energy today. I'll do that tomorrow. I'm feeling all right. And then you get up in the morning, and by the time you've gone to make a cup of coffee or something like that, you're absolutely knackered. And it is a job to plan ahead sometimes. I mean, there's many a time, I've got to get this done today. I've got to go here today. And I've got to the point of putting my shoes and jacket on, and I'm just, no, I can't do this. I haven't got it. I haven't got the energy. You know, yeah, there are times when I push it. Like, okay, I don't really feel like walking around the hospital today for my appointment, and the offer is always there for a lift. And I always know if I get there and find I'm struggling and I can't do the walk home, then I've only got a phone call and I'll get picked up.
He could use the car, but it costs a fortune to park.
If you can find somewhere.
If you can find a space. 9 times out of 10, you can't find a space.
There is a car park you can use, which is across the road from the hospital, a free one. But usually it's full. But if you're just waiting in a car, you can sort of sit in there and just move if somebody wants to get out. But if you're driving up on your own, then you can't leave it there, and then someone's got to sit in there and wait while the appointments are had. On them occasions I do push myself because I know I've got to use my legs, otherwise the muscles are just going to deteriorate, especially with the blood issues. So I don't push myself that hard. I learned that with the last lot of treatment. I pushed that a bit hard, not realising how much the treatment would take out of me, and that's why it wiped me out for a day or two. But this time I know, and if I feel the same once I've been through the treatment, then I will certainly ring Heather, and she'll come and pick me up at the back gate of the hospital, as it were. But the option's always there. The option's always there. I don't put myself at risk, put it that way.
I think you had such a bad reaction this time because they'd left it too long.
Yeah.
So it was a big difference.
Yeah.
And if anything, it took slightly too much.
You know, I was getting them every, 2 months? And
to get to where you should have been.
Yeah. And now it's every 3 weeks until the levels come down again, and they're doing it more intensely. Yeah, I understand why they was doing it, and I understand the reason why some of the appointments weren't made. None of it my fault. Obviously, with strikes and everything else that was going on, I think just about everybody's had appointments cancelled for one reason or the other. But that's the state of our NHS, isn't it? And with the amount of people they're trying to the amount of people they're trying to entice to go in and get checked for just about everything going, they're just going to make it worse. But there again, look at what was said so far through the COVID inquiry, how the NHS were coping and how they operated. A lot of things in there have opened the floodgates, shall we say. But Hancock knew it was coming. That's why he tried to ask for immunity, and he got refused. It's all risk. Yeah. As I say, I've learnt now through injuries I've had before, and I carried on trying to do the same sort of things, and it made things worse. One was taking a step back from racing the mountain bikes and just racing for a bit of fun, so there was no stress element involved. But there was also the doubt in the back of my mind that if I had another bad crash on that shoulder, the doctors had told me that there's every chance I'd lose the use of that arm. So that was always in the back of my mind. So I shied away from a lot of the jumps and features that I used to do. Anything that I thought, yeah, that is too much of a risk, I'm not doing it. Although riding was a risk in itself. And then when I'd had the surgery and other stuff and other complications, I realised I just couldn't do it physically. And if I tried, I was putting myself at risk. So that was a very hard thing to step back from. It's something I'd done for years, something I was good at, and something I enjoyed immensely. And everything around it. I enjoyed building the bikes, repairing the bikes, building trails, building features. And literally that just had to be put by the wayside all in one foul go, overnight, more or less, as it were. I hung on, and I was still trying to come to terms with it. But the big help was a few weeks ago, I actually sold my race bike. It's been sat in the shed. It hasn't been used for quite a few years. And a mate of mine offered to buy it off me for his missus because it's a nice lightweight one. And I still undenied about it. But I did relent. I did sell it to him at a very fair price because he's a mate. I don't rip people off like that. And apparently she's getting an immense amount of enjoyment out of it. So, you know, I'm happy about that. I was sorry to see it go, but it was the last thing that connected me to that. I've got memories. I've got photographs. And I still see most of the people that were involved in it with me. Good evening, Sean. Yeah, we're all good here. We had the same panic at the beginning. I did start up early because you can't get rid of them bloody hearts in the chat until you're live. And I didn't want to panic and do it when I went live. But there again, same as last week, most people were already in here watching me trying to do it. But, yeah, the car is safe for Paris, but I proved even that with all the years I raced the bloody things. Coming back off holiday, I still had an accident, although a minor one, and it was my fault. Hands up totally on that, and that's why I put it out there in a video. I'm by far from perfect. But it's getting to the point here where the way a lot of them are driving, it's even unsafe in cars, to be honest. And it's certainly a damn sight more expensive. But there's no... well, a mate of ours that turned up today for a visit, he was not a dedicated motorcyclist, but he's always ridden bikes. He's a bit older than me. And was it last year or the year before, he got rid of his bike, saying, he said there's no benefits to the bike at all. He said you can't get through traffic any quicker. With all the speed restrictions, you're stuffed. So he said, I might as well travel in comfort. So he's car only now. And he does do a lot of traveling. He's a rigger, or used to be, for shows and festivals and presentations, rigging all the lighting, the wiring, the staging, and all that sort of thing. I done a bit of it with him, but
he's currently semi-retired.
Yeah, he is semi-retired now. He just does the warehouse work with the equipment, doesn't he, most of it? Or dropping it off.
Yeah.
And let other people do the humping work. And it is fucking hard work, believe me. It's well paid for the amount of hours that you work, but in the hours that you do work, you really have to go for it. But the rewards are there.
I'm not talking to that idiot again.
Who's that?
The one that called earlier. Sales.
Oh, Shelley's. See, I still don't get any of that.
Nobody likes you.
No, it's because I don't use my phone on the internet. No, that's her mobile, Sean. She does a lot of stuff on the internet through it, including things like, eBay and stuff like that. So, and obviously once you start down that route, you get cold calling and advertising. And
that was actually O2 fake again.
Oh, the fake O2 one. Yeah, that one's becoming a bit of a pain now.
Yeah.
The fake O2 one, they put your reference number or whatever it is in here, and we'll rob your bank account for you. And apologies for the one I put out the other day about the scam from Royal Mail as well. I'd never seen it before, and it was pointed out to me, thank you, Holly, that it's been doing the rounds for years. But I'd never heard of it before, because no one ever sends me parcels at Christmas.
Oh. Everybody together. Oh.
Well, this is the thing, Sean, and rightly so, as they were saying at this AI conference, I'll call it, the last few days, is yes, there is some good things that AI could be used for. But as he said himself, Muskie, he said, can you imagine if these scammers and hackers could use AI at the same level? He said it puts humanity at threat. Oh, Sean, we love you.
I like it best when I get free stuff.
And I believe it is a real threat to humanity, to be honest. If it's going to be capable of doing what they say that it can do or will do eventually, yeah, I believe we should be very, very worried about it. Again, Muskie said himself, it will take away the need for humans to work.
John Lennon will be able to bring out.
Okay, so
song.
what do we do?
I'm going to the kitchen, darling. Are you all right for drinking?
Yeah, I'm fine at the moment, thank you. Anybody remember the film WALL-E, the cartoon with the robots?
WALL-E.
It's humankind once AI does everything for them, just going to sit around, get obese. What's going to pay for it? There's yeah. We used to do it with a fishing line loafer, 50 yards of fishing line and pull it from down the road. And on the last pull, you give it a good yank and it used to snap. Easy bugs. Yeah, I don't fancy eating bugs. Except for the ones I swallow in my sleep because I don't know about them. Because apparently we all do swallow so many hundred spiders in our lifetime while we were asleep and stuff like that. Where do I remember that from? Fucking hell. But yeah, I believe AI could be potentially very, very dangerous to us. Very dangerous. Just on the employment thing. I mean, I was at British Leyland when they first started bringing in the robots on the production line, fitting windscreens and basic things in the beginning. And I saw how many people were put out of jobs through it just because they were replaced by a robot. And I also saw how those robots could be stuffed up. Simple little things that used to get done back then. Putting a cardboard box in front of the car. So it activates the sensor early because it's not the car that's triggering it on the production line. So the fucking stupid robot used to go off and try and fit a windscreen to the bumper or the bonnet rather than where it should do. I shouldn't say things like that used to be done on purpose, but they were, and people knew it. The management knew it. They just let it go on for a while and people got fed up of doing it. So they sucked it up until people got fed up of doing it. You can report it, Holly. And there used to be a system in place, and I did do it on my mobile, one of them, and I can't remember how you go about it, but you can actually register your number, which makes it illegal for them to cold call you. I remember something like that was put on it. It wasn't on the landline. I know you can get things put in place from there. Oh, chat disappeared then. Sorry, didn't realise I was through. Oh, you behind on the stream. No worries, Stitch. Sorry, I didn't get what you meant there. I've done that where I've been out of sync, and Heather said, well, you're not in the same place as me. Yeah, we ain't got a landline anyway, Loafer. We got fed up of getting calls from India asking for different people because they'd allocated a number that had obviously been used before. That was with Virgin. And in the end, because we were on a package with a free landline with the internet, we just unplugged the landline and threw it in the bin. You just keep saying, oh, your phone's disconnected. Well, yeah, thank you. That's how we want it. But it wasn't really an option back then when that package was taken out. Yeah, to be honest, Holly, if you look back at a lot of old food stock, if you've got any, there is quite a few products that have been adding stuff like that for years. Sean, hello, is Dick Whittington there? You'll be surprised if you go back and look through the history of that name, Sean. Bleach Demon, good evening. I did it a while back. I looked into it way before the internet. This was by post and stuff. would you believe? Because I wanted to find the family crest, being an old English name, and none of the family knew it. So I found the crest, and then I researched into the Dick Whittington going to London with his black cat shit. And yes, there was a Dick Whittington, and he did go to London, and he did become involved in politics. I've seen conflicting stories about whether he was actually Lord Mayor, but he did actually become a member of Parliament. And in fact, because I did for my own, there it is.
Lothar, you are correct.
Right.
I think it's actually called the cochineal beetle.
And in London, let's see if I can make that. Oh no, that's on 100%. Dedicated to him. There is actually a very old pub that doesn't exist anymore, called the Whittington Arms. And that is back in the day, several years, and as the building looks today. 1890, 1898 and 2022. The talent from the Cloth Fair, London. And I find it interesting to find out things like that and look at things like that. I did have some more pictures of it, but I haven't got them in that file, so I ain't going to be able to go through everything and find them. But some of you have seen this one before. I did find one of me with my first bike.
No, I think the Whittington's Arms are very cosy.
And people were saying, oh, I've got to try and bloody find it now. Where is it? Is it in there? Nope. Is it in there? It's got to be in there somewhere.
This is going to sound bad now. I've been in the different Whittington Arms.
Oh shit! Where's that picture gone?
Wasn't me.
No, I had a bit of a clean up in some of the files.
And you deleted it.
And I haven't used that picture for ages. I ain't gonna need that again. Get rid of that. And 2 days after I fucking do it, I want the picture. And I can't find it. I'm sure it was in there. Right. Bear with me, folks. I do get confused with this shit. Right, so it's not in that file. If it's in that one, it will be one of the latest ones that's been put in there. So they'll be down there. It ain't in that file. That one I just looked in.
Can I just say this muttering he does is not for your benefit. This is what he does every time he's doing anything on the computer.
Ah, there it is.
I have to put up with this.
Now, when the shit hits the fan, I've got somewhere to go. Because unlike most people, I've got my own barracks. And it has got a rifle range, a shooting range.
Sorry for those that were in earlier, but for James M.
What are we looking at here? James M. I popped 2 out of the last couple of years. I've none seen. Oh, teeth. Oh.
There you go, James. How to find a local NHS dentist.
Thank you, Grandma. And there is actually a village just down the road from there named Whittington as well. And there is another one, actually. God, where is it? Warwickshire. There is another place called Whittington in Warwickshire.
You mean where the barracks are?
No, there's another one out that way somewhere. I have seen it before. We used to pass it going to Birmingham Airport from Oxford. So we wouldn't have come up this far. So it wouldn't have been past this one.
Okay, let's find out where.
Go, yep. My little researcher. Go for it, my darling. Prove me wrong, please.
No, I'll find out where they are.
Yeah. Siggy's and But I know there is also, I believe, a Whittington town in America.
There is Whittington in Lichfield.
Yep, that's the one up here.
Yep.
The barracks. And I think the other one is in Warwickshire, if I remember right.
Staffordshire. Shropshire.
There's one in Shropshire. No, that wouldn't be the one then.
Just northeast of Oswestry.
No, it wasn't Wales. No, we wouldn't have gone past Oswestry going to
No.
What's the name? Roach, where we used to go anyway. No, I remember seeing it on the way to Birmingham Airport when we used to fly over to Ireland. Along there somewhere. But that was the only reason I added the UK to the end of my name. There are a lot of Roger Whittingtons on there, which I was quite surprised at, but most of them are in America. There's also a DJ under the same name, apparently. I love the puffy ones we won. The pork crunch ones rather than the genuine. Right, Sue, good afternoon, sweetheart. Been a while. I know you were taking a step back for a bit there. How are you doing?
There is.
So I'm trying to see what else is being said in the chat. Oh, I've still got that bloody banner running.
There is Old Whittington in Chesterfield.
No, it wouldn't have been Chesterfield.
No,
There's an Old Whittington sat here. Nice one. Glad to hear it, Sue. I really am. Yeah, Sean, I'm starting to get a bit peckish. Whether we'll make the 7 o'clock deadline tonight, I don't know. But the good news is that Christian, thank you. You were true to your word at StreamYard. You haven't cut the stream, so thank you very much for that advice today. For those of you that are in late, you'd have to go back through the stream and see what that was all about. But at the moment, we're running on nothing because I'm out of time on StreamYard, but they've told me they won't cut the stream, so. No, someone said I love pork scratchings, and that came out at 10 o'clock at night on one of mine or Dan's streams. That might have been misconstrued as something else, but we'll leave that one there. Yeah, it might be even over your way, Holly, that I've seen it. I was very young, but I went past it as a family. We went past it more than 2 or 3 times over the years, and it was always pointed out, oh, look, there's our name, So it was just something that stuck in my mind. I mean, I'd moved here for more than 5 years before I even knew Whittington was up the road here. It's only, what was it? It's less than 5-6 mile away, isn't it?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. And I only found that because the woods we used to ride the mountain bikes in back off onto it, and it's the overshoot area for the shooting range. It used to be closed at times, although the fences were pulled down and we didn't give a shit. We used to ride in there anyway. But then they fenced it off, and that was when I found out, oh, yeah, it's Whittington Barracks. I knew Whittington Village was there, but I didn't know the barracks were there, and they were called that. So. And I dare say my sister got a lot of ribbing for it as well, being as she was full screw in the army, leaving and retiring with the rank of captain. One of many reasons I don't speak to her and never have.
Everything I'm finding is coming up in one of these 2 places.
Yeah, well, maybe it was a stronghold of where the name came from. I've never actually found out where the family actually originated. I know I was always told, and from what I read, I've always known it's an old English name going back many, many generations, but I've never been able to pinpoint down to the bottom of the family tree, as it were.
There is a Whittington in Worcester.
Worcester.
Because I have found Whittington Church of England Primary School in Whittington, Worcester. But it wouldn't show me Whittington in Worcester.
Don't tell me they've named a church after me. Are you taking the piss? That's not right.
It's named for the village, town, whatever.
That's all right then. I was going to say, God almighty. No, I shouldn't even say that, should I? Excuse me a minute, people. Fizzy drinks and all that. Yeah, I'm a carnivore wee one. Quite often, put a Sunday roast in front of me. I will eat my veg, I will eat my spuds and Yorkshire pud, but once the meat's gone, that's where it stops. Well, this has always been the issue, Loafer, because I believed I was put together in a test tube. And I have put that on official forms on the odd occasion as well. Sue, if you want, at the moment on the Sunday streams for the last couple of weeks, I've been running the Sunday night stream instead of Dan on his channel. I've been running it on mine, and it's going to be the same this week. I only plan to do 8 till midnight at most, but I just open up my stream so the usual Pap crowd and some of the lot in here have got somewhere to go as they usually do on a Sunday, and it's run around the same sort of way as I run this one. Zero tolerance on idiots and trolls, and we just have a bit of fun. No, he's absolutely fine, Sue. He's, as you know, he got back in touch with his lads, and he's actually been going to see them. So he's spending a bit of time with them and the family. He's still travelling around a little bit.
Like your old uncle.
But he's having a whale of a time. Where was that?
Old uncle's going to feed the darlings.
Uncle's going, all right, and take care. Thank you very much for dropping in.
Oh, no, we're the darlings. He needs to feed the crew.
Oh, okay. But no, he's absolutely fine. Absolutely. I speak to him on a daily basis. But because he's only got his mobile with him, he can't drop online as he wants and when he wants, like he can at home. So, but yeah, the usual suspects will be there. Do you know what, James? Then you saying that? Now, years ago when I was racing cars, obviously under the regulations, I had to have my blood group on the fire suit for emergency situations. And over the years, I totally forgot what it was. So the head nurse, last time I went in for my treatment, very kindly went through my records, because apparently it doesn't always get put on your normal records that are general accessible from nurses and stuff like that. But it does get put on there if you've had a blood transfusion during an operation or something like that. And she very kindly informed me what it was again, because with my situation, not only do I have the ICE contact on my phone, but I'm also going to get an SOS bracelet or something. Because some of my stuff, there's a lot of medication that I can't have. It could be dangerous to me. So bacon we would, everything should have bacon with it. It's a food group all on its own. I'd love to test if you could survive just on bacon alone. No, that's not something to do on a live stream where they see how many months you can live on bacon.
We do occasionally have processed food here because I can be lazy, but I do like to make from scratch wherever possible.
Yeah, and she is a very good cook. A very good cook.
Bless you, my darling, unless I burn it.
Well, how many times have I said now we won't have a takeaway because I prefer your cooking?
That's your excuse for not taking me out as well.
Well, yeah, that as well. But
I prefer it when somebody else cooks.
I'll make you toast.
Yeah.
No, I have fads, Shan. If I get a taste of bacon, have a bacon butty or something like that, I just want more. And if it's in the fridge, if it's on top of a burger, that's even more of a bonus. But I've ate crap for years, mainly because of the way I used to work. Originally, my ex-partner, she was a chef, funny enough. But again, because of her job, it was mainly takeaways. She didn't want to cook when she got home. Most of the time I was absolutely knackered because I was doing double shifts and shit like that. So it was nearly all takeaways. I did start cooking for myself more when I lived on my own up here.
Even cooked for me once.
Even cooked for you once, yes. Before we moved in together. But I'd much prefer Heather's cooking.
So do I.
And down to the fact where we don't buy strawberry jam. I grow the strawberries out the back, and I will only eat Heather's homemade strawberry jam. I don't like the stuff you buy in the shops. I'm a very fussy eater, very fussy.
Meat, potato, peas.
And she caters for that because she's learned over the years what I'll eat, what I don't. I'm always willing to try some new food, and I have done. And if I don't like it, then she doesn't cook it for me again.
I've got a fig, Grandma. It's a new one. My last one got destroyed by some puppies. but it's not old enough to have fruit on it yet. I'm hoping next year.
Yeah.
I love fresh figs.
Well, that one will probably come back.
Oh, that one's fine. That one's growing. I'm on about the one I used to have. That I used to have figs, and Mitzi's puppies ate it.
Yeah. These. I mean, we do use fresh stuff where we can. But these people that say, "Oh yeah, you can be self-sustainable, growing your own," realistically, unless you've got a hell of a lot of land, you can't. What you could grow in an allotment or a back garden, most sizes, wouldn't keep a family going for a year.
The neighbours would complain if I tried to grow a pig.
Yeah. Have you ever tried planting bacon to grow your own?
That's why I only grow strawberries. It's the only thing that you'd eat.
But yeah, you'll be very shocked at how much land it would take to sustain a family under survival circumstances. I'll use the word survival. And there are lots and lots of survival foods that people recommend that are only a short-term fix as well. You wouldn't be on them permanently, use them permanently. As we all know, the human body needs a certain amount of certain things to stay healthy, and unless you give it all those things, you ain't going to stay healthy. This is decided chippy night. Oh well, still. It's only spud and fat. Oh, look, the new big thing was the air fryers, wasn't it? And apparently, a lot of stuff you can cook in them now is bad for you. You shouldn't even cook bacon in them. That's it. Never had one. Never had one. Never wanted one. Nearest thing we got to that is a slow cooker, which does an absolutely beautiful job of meat. I don't eat a lot of chips, Stuart. I will eat them. But generally, a small handful with a piece of fish is enough for me. I no way can I eat a whole portion from a chippy. And to be honest, what we normally do, if we're having fish and chips, we buy a large fish and a portion of chips, and we have half each. I have a smaller half.
Not that much smaller.
No. But the chips especially, you know,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of the chips.
But I get all the mushy peas or the curry sauce if I go down that way.
No, we wouldn't have when we were. Everybody went mental on them and this, that, and the other. Yes, James. Heather's a traditional cook. She cooks traditional food. She can cook, you know, curries and.
I've had a double oven for years. So what I can fit in my top oven, which costs a lot less to heat than the
Oh,
big
Graham.
oven.
Just sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Oh, so you might be getting two of them then, mate. But yeah, Heather is a traditional cook, and she cooks meals like I remember from a kid. You know, my mum was a chef.
When we have chips, it's an occasion. But I like chips cooked in lard, and we don't have them often enough to warrant a chip pan.
Yeah, it got me this far, loafer. Yeah, it's a lot of fun in reacting to the comments more than when I'm got people on the panel and that. Yeah, but as you get older, it affects you more. simply as I've said, that's why I only use certain parts of certain medication for what I need. I'm not looking to go out there and party and get wrecked and what have you, like I used to when I was young. I use it medicinally. Didn't say what drugs. Yeah, prescription drugs ain't as much fun though, really, are they, Graham? I mean, you can't exactly say, oh, I had a great time last night. I took too many of my blood thinners.
That's where the painkillers come in.
Yeah. No takeaways in movies. Yeah, well, we're not far off the town, Sean, and we can get anything we want really from a car. We've even got a Taco Bell's up there, I believe.
Not that we'd want to eat from any of them.
Never had one, but
I had some churros from there once for the kids.
God, I can see me come back. No carbs, no sugar. Oh, there you go, James. Yeah, Graham. I'll be totally honest. If I actually smoke the part of it that most people do, it could actually do me quite a bit of damage. One, obviously, people that have smoked it still do or have experienced it. There's such a thing called a whiteout when you go too far. Now, a whiteout is exactly the same as what I experienced during the biggest stroke that I had, because that's what I thought was happening. And now, because of the complications and the previous strokes, I need to know whether I'm having a whiteout or whether I'm having a stroke. And if I'm smoking that shit like that, then I ain't going to know the difference. I go, okay, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying this, pass out, and that's it. I'm there and I'm not coming back. This is what I say. I've had to change a lot of the way I live my life. I said I've got used to it. It's still things pop up where I think, no, I shouldn't be doing that, or should I be doing it? And I question myself on it. And that is one of the things I questioned right at the beginning, even to the point of bringing it up with my consultants and doctors. So I know I'm doing that the right way. Yes, there always is the danger that you could do too much of it and it takes you above that level. But what the part of it I'm using, I'd have to sit here and smoke 20 in a morning or an afternoon to get anywhere near that. So, yeah, we only do it as a treat, James, or if Heather's been out doing something and she really doesn't feel like cooking, then we have one and we treat it as a treat night.
It's not once a week. It's when we feel like it.
Yeah, it may be once a month, 2 times a month, but I don't think we've had one every week.
No. But if for some reason, and it doesn't matter what the reason was, today I went, stuff it, I'll go and get fish and chips, because Stuart B's made me think about it. And then tomorrow I'm still craving a curry. Still craving a Chinese, because James talked about a Chinese. And we could do that if we wanted to, but nah.
Oh, yeah. Plus the point, I'm feeling tired now anyway. No, we're only an hour off from target time, so.
Yeah, still don't know what we're having for tea, though.
No. And I haven't had a kip this afternoon either, so. And I wasn't up as early as usual. I think I was up about 5 this morning. If I could be bothered to go back through some messages I got here, I'd know exact time because I went straight onto Discord. But usually I spend them hours in the mornings looking at research, answering emails, Usually putting the day's video together, my notes, seeing if there's anything I need to add that's breaking news. But as I say, it's all food for the hamster, and it keeps that hamster wheel in the head turning. The rest of me might be going a bit stagnant, but I'd like that bit to last longer than most of it. But, ow. Didn't realise that was that short. I've just burnt the end of my nose.
Oh, well.
But yeah, we could even end up having fish and chips tonight. We'll see the way the discussion goes when I finish on here. Like I say, I might finish a little bit earlier, being as I started earlier. But, you know, if we've only got like 8 or 9, 10 people in here, then it's not really worth carrying on. But at the moment, numbers are there, so we'll keep going. And I'm enjoying going through the chat, to be honest. Yes, James, the most expensive bits I found for the planes, if you can find them even, are the blades. There is a manufacturer that will still make them as one-offs, but you're looking, like you say, it's a lot of money. So I try and keep the ones I got in good condition, and now they're not being used because I'm not working. Basically, I've got some nice vintage tools out there in very, very good condition.
Who are you responding to?
James.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Northman.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I've even got the old palm drills and shoulder drills, both British and American. Yeah, I've got 3 different sizes of those. One's actually a 2-speed with a hammer action, which is one I'd never seen before. It's an American one. I'd never seen a palm or a crank drill like that with a hammer action before. Yeah, I've got a couple of bits and braces as well, Rubber Chuck. They're handy for doing doors and stuff like that, where you need to bore a bigger hole for locks and things. And when you're making gates and that as well, because you can put the screwdriver bits in them. In fact, the one I've got, it actually came from the MG car factory, believe it or not, because you used to have the choice of them or a Yankee when you were fitting screws to the cars and doing up nuts. Most people use the Yankee, but I didn't like it because you didn't get a true feeling of how much pressure you're putting on a bolt or a screw. With a bit and brace, you can. All right, and Graham, nice of you to drop in, mate. Don't forget Sunday night, I'm doing a stream again Sunday night for Dan on my channel. So if you want to drop in there, mate, you're more than welcome. It's always good to see you. The keto diet. Yeah, wasn't that the butler from Thunderbirds? No, that was Kato, wasn't it? I do eat pasta, Sean. I never used to eat a lot of pasta, but it fits in well with the diets that I'm on now and the varying foods and that I eat. And also, it's nice to eat meat with something else to accompany it as a change other than spuds. You know, curries with the rice, Indian food, Chinese food.
Pasta with the chicken.
No, I'll be watching. Point at the camera, Steve. Yeah.
Hello.
God, that's loud. I've only been listening to myself up until now.
Hi, mate. Hi, Mrs. W.
Good afternoon, Steve. How are you?
Evening.
Good afternoon, stroke evening.
No, it's not. Evening's after tea.
Right.
We haven't had tea yet.
Pre-evening.
No, we haven't had tea. Evening's after tea.
Bloody hell. Defining your own time zones. Why not?
Mate, I'm in a different time zone totally. I'm also in a different universe half the time, and
I know that feeling. I'm surprised I didn't meet you there.
Now, we had this conversation, was it last week or the week before? And I said to me, evening is after tea. Because you've got afternoon and then you've got tea time.
No.
Or dinner time, or
Hi,
whatever you want to
Titch.
call it.
Stitch.
Then
Titch.
it's
Hi. Teach. About right, innit?
then it's late. So yeah, not evening yet. I've had me tea.
So sorry about that. We used to have one on Pap's channel called Titch. For some reason, I haven't seen them for a while.
She's even smaller than me, Rog, so it's about right.
Well, believe it or not, when us two are stood together, Heather's quite a bit shorter than me.
Right.
Because she hates cuddling up to me because she gets all my chest hair up her nose.
It insists on lying up the bed, head up the headboard, and then wants me to snuggle up. And all I've got is his chest and his stomach.
You can see the hairs go.
Get like a crop circle.
Yeah. Oh, and it is a pain in the ass because as I've got older, I've also started suffering with ingrowing hairs.
Oh. Right.
It happens a lot more in older people.
Oh.
All right, and Sue, you take care, sweetheart. It's absolutely wonderful to see you back up and running again. I hope the break did you good. And
Okay.
we will see
So
you
good.
soon.
That's only, Stuart, that's only when you're 7.
What she said.
When the lights come on in the streets, it's evening. It's only
Yeah.
when you're 7.
But then when you got a sadistic old man there stood there with this bloody great big torch, come home, you little bastard.
Does that mean in the summer it's not evening till 10 o'clock?
Well, I was allowed out after dark. One, because I used to do poaching. A lot of people wouldn't get fed unless I did. But I always had to tell them where I was and where I was going. And when you live in a rural village, if you do go anywhere where you shouldn't, there was always somebody that was going to go back and tell your parents, quite often before you even got home.
Mm. Yeah.
It was a different world. It was a totally different world.
Like the village out of The Prisoner.
Oh, no, I'm going back a while. It's more like Last of the Summer Wine. But you'd walk through the village. You know damn well the people weren't there, but the door would be wide open.
Mhm.
You know, the delivery, the milkman, the butcher that used to deliver, they'd just walk in and put the food on the table. Half the time, they'd put it in the fridge or the cupboard for them. You know, and that's the sort of life I had in my early years. That's what was the norm.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I moved into a town and had to lock my door, I was like, never had to do this. And I had to remember, literally, do I need to lock the door? Yes.
Can I say hi to little Stitch? Can you hear me?
Stitch has just gone up to the ladies' room just for a minute. She'll be back down.
No, she put in a message. Little Stitch says hi. And I said, can he hear me or not? Is he there?
Little Stitch.
Dylan!
I don't think he's watching. He's in the front room. We're in the kitchen with the window open so we can smoke our fags.
She said Little Stitch said hi. Yeah, I just see that one.
So he's obviously said hi as she's walked through.
There was only one time that he had the opportunity to try and do that to me, Loafer, and that was the time I knocked him out.
Hi.
There he is. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. Nice to see you.
I think it's you, Roger.
Thank you very much, young man.
Oh, there he is.
Right. Yeah, I'm alright. Cool.
Takes me ages to catch up with
Oh,
the
of course,
pictures.
yeah, because you're not on StreamYard, are you?
No, it takes me ages to catch up on the pictures. Hello, Dylan.
There's about
You well?
I don't know what you explain to him, Steve, about the lag.
The lag, yeah.
Yeah, I can talk to him now. I know he's there. I just didn't realise he was there. I heard the hello. I couldn't see who it was.
Yeah, I think we're listening to Mrs. W on the StreamYard.
Yeah.
So we're live.
Yeah, I'm listening on StreamYard, but I'm watching on YouTube.
She's watching on YouTube.
So about 20 seconds behind or something.
Yeah.
It's easier to work it like that because when she's upstairs, if she goes on her big computer upstairs, then yes, she can get into StreamYard, but 9 times out of 10, she'll have StreamYard on and watching the chat here. So all she does down here is because she's down here, she's got the laptop. So she doesn't come into StreamYard because it'll create a loop as well with the two of them open here.
Yeah.
So she just sits in the background there.
Plus, I'm not taking a space up if everybody wanted to come on.
Yeah. Disciplining, Dad taking over. No, there was only that once, as I've said before, Loafer, where he called a fist and he was going to put it in my face and I decked him. Other than that, the punishment he used to dish out was proportionate, although they wouldn't say it today, but to me it was proportionate for the naughty things that I used to do. So a belt across my ass or a slap around the back of the head I took as red because, yeah, I'd been bad.
Yeah, you had done something, yeah.
You know, he didn't take me outside and beat me merciless with it. Yeah. At most, it was a couple of 3 slaps with the belt.
Yeah.
The rabbit stick used to hurt a lot more because I had a fucking lump on the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
But he learned his lesson about that when I threw it up in the conker tree and it got stuck. Yes, Stuart. I believe that the punishment and the rules my parents set in my very early years, I still live by a lot of them. Same as if I went out and decided to commit a crime and I got caught, I would expect to get the punishment to fit that crime. I know a lot of punishments nowadays don't fit the crime, but people do. But yes, I would expect to be punished. And I would defend it.
I think it's injustice that most people don't agree with. Is if the punishment's even too lenient, people won't like it.
Yeah.
As we see all the time these days.
The justice system was a lot different back then. You know, the police didn't have targets to meet on how many people they arrest. As long as there was no crime, they were seen as doing their job. When there was a crime, if they nicked somebody, again, they were seen to be doing a good job.
Brought to justice.
Yeah. I'm not saying even back then there were the rogue ones, there were the bad ones, but they were far and few between. And if they were local, you knew exactly who they were and you stayed away from them. You know, I used to have no qualms with going to have a conversation with our local copper or even some of the ones in the town back then. It wouldn't have worried me. But now I wouldn't give them the time of day, mate.
Yeah,
did you ever see that meeting in Thetford? It was a bunch of the people in Thetford were standing up to the WEF basically, and one of the main speakers was a copper in Thetford for a lot of years. I can't remember how many years, and he struck me as being the kind of copper that you hear people talk about from the quote old days. And he was like, "I've been patrolling the streets of Thetford for it was well over 10 years, might have been 20 years."
You want to show us your left hand, Loafer? Yep. Sound.
All right.
No need to tap heads and shit. I can tell by the movements when I say it. Yes, Stuart. I mean, I must admit, I hate using that word, but I was a right evil little bastard in my younger days.
But you knew what you were going to get if you did.
Yeah, I knew exactly what I'd get if I got caught. The only thing the old man never complained about was the poaching, obviously, because it saved him money. And there's quite a few villagers that used to say the same, to be honest. Hang on, I'm just getting another message in somewhere.
You having a cup of tea, Lothar?
I'm having a coffee. Don't drink tea. Coffee.
Oh, my mistake.
Now I got to get my stimulants down me. Then I normally have a little snooze for an hour. Then I hit the beer, especially on a Friday night.
Yeah, got to be done.
Oh, by the way, I was on a stream the other night, and you know who tried to get in by trying to soundboard Dan's voice.
Oh yeah, they tried it. They tried it using mine.
Anybody that can be trusted within our little community across whomsoever is doing a stream. Well, I know what he's reading at the moment because he sent me an email with a picture attached to a book recommendation. So Henry tried jumping on last night, and I said, "What? But if that's you, then Dan, what's the book that you're reading at the moment?" And he couldn't answer it. So be careful.
Yeah. They've been doing it for a while. What they do is they, record bits of lives and videos. And yes, Sean, that's it. It is who it is.
Fell pissing on the floor.
We just had a spider incident here. Sorry for the noise.
Okay. Get the arachnid.
Exactly. Dylan saved the day.
But yeah, I don't give them airtime in here, Sean. I try even not to mention them. We did talk about it last week after what happened with Dave Kelly. Mark Kelly, sorry. Not Dave. Sorry, Dave, if you're out there, mate. And yeah, this is what the online safety bill is supposed to be stopping, but they don't seem to be doing anything about it, even when it's reported. To me, that is totally illegal under the new online safety bill, which is active now, by the way. For those of you that didn't know, that's why YouTube have been doing what they're doing about community warnings lately.
I got sent to the naughty step for a day last week by YouTube. I was not allowed to comment on any videos, none whatsoever, but violating community guidelines regarding what have you. And all I did was recite a silly song, just a silly song. That was it. Nothing really nasty, no threats or anything like that. Just a silly song. And
well, what they're doing now, I don't know whether you were in it at the beginning, Lothar, when I said about it. Your community warnings, even after you've served your time, stay on your channel. As you know, you quite often see it in the analytics. Although that can't be acted upon because the 90-day warning that came with it is obviously well out of date. As in my case, it was over 2 years ago. But they're sending out messages that if you click on the link on the message, you can go and do what they call learning.
Oh, yeah. They'll send you on a course to make you think properly and behave properly.
No, what
a
they're
little
doing,
bit like that course that they sent Jordan Peterson on.
No,
otherwise they would.
What they're doing is getting you to agree to new things that are in the online safety bill. Basically, what they're doing is trying to see how many people will actually sign this thing to say we'll abide by the new rules.
The thing is, it's all been ushered in under the guise of protecting children. But the thing is, there's enough things now available to protect children. Why should it be down to the government to legislate to protect children? Children are protected first and foremost by their parents, and their parents being vigilant about what they get up to. And there's all sorts of different types of software that you can put on your children's tablets and computers and keep them safe. The whole idea is to whip up outrage and paranoia and make people scared to legitimate even more censorious introduction into the social media. That's all they're doing it for, to get rid of anybody's anonymity. So where are the whistleblowers going to come from? When the governments are getting up to all sorts of nefarious shenanigans here, there, and everywhere. Where's it Julian Assange's? Where are the Ed Nortons? Where are the Chelsea Mannings going to come from?
James, yes, mate. I would have loved to have done the Mega Avalanche. To physically now, not a hope in hell, and I don't even think I'd have been fit enough in my prime at the racing to cope with that. That is one of the most physical motorcycle races in the world. And those guys that finish that, when you look, you get probably over nearly 1,000 starters in one go, one mass start, and you might get 200 if you're lucky to actually finish. Yeah, that just shows what it's like. I'd love to go and watch it, but again, it's that far spread out. You can see one vantage point, and that's it. But yeah, I'd love to have had a go at that. Sorry, that's something that is on the mountain biking calendar every year, and it's an absolute cracker of a race. If you've ever seen 500 to 1,000 mountain bikers starting off on snow and ice covered peak, all the way to the bottom, full on downhill for about half an hour to 3/4 of an hour in times, going
So
from snow to mud. I mean, there's one, if I can't remember the title of the video, right from the start, they look like a load of ants heading down this ski slope, basically. And all of a sudden, one goes over at the bottom, and the cascade effect where nobody can stop, steer. There's like 300-400 bikes piled up with bodies everywhere. Absolutely hilarious, but yes, Stuart, I've been expecting to be sent in Facebook jail at any time for some of the stuff I've been putting up, but it hasn't happened yet. But I'm very careful about what I say and what I allow to be said on here, simply because of the way they're being and the way they are and the way they're going to get. So, is that
yes.
right? Oh, nice. And it's something we've got to do if we want to keep going. We can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's like the walls are closing in, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not just going to be YouTube. It's going to be across all spectrums of the internet.
Well, yeah, there's that Tory MP wrote to all the social media platforms, and Rumble told us to go F herself.
Yeah.
But they'll come for Rumble eventually as well.
Oh, they've already told them that if they don't toe the line, they'll be thrown out the UK.
No, they can't do that. They've got to actually sit down in Parliament and actually have a motion about it.
They've already done it.
Oh, crikey. Has that batty, chinless idiot signed it yet? Because they actually parole Parliament.
It's signed or not, but they were putting it to them and saying this is the way it's going to be. If you don't like it, basically leave of your own accord before you get thrown out. And the platforms they have warned have said that if they implement it and they're going to bring this in, they will leave of their own accord. They'll take their business elsewhere.
There's no way getting around it with any foreign servers if you use one of those.
No, they'll be looking into these ones where, what do they call them? Where you send your signal all over the place and they can't find who you are.
VPN, that's it. It's all like this Hegelian dialect, isn't it? You manufacture outrage, you get people all worked up about something, you make people completely neurotic about some issue that might exist, or they blow it all out of all proportion, and then they suggest the action that needs to be taken in order to assuage the public neurosis, and they implement new, more tyrannical and censorious laws.
Yep, and they're just going to escalate and bring more in. The only thing I'm glad about is that the eyes are being opened about the dangers of AI.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, with all the tech they were being developed and wherever it was coming from, I'm not going to go into the conspiracy theories on that, but they've got a lot of new tech and they don't know how to use it. They don't know what's going to happen when they do use it. And honestly, you can say that about certain things they've dished out recently, but the AI, in theory, could wipe out the human race, because if it learns that much and it learns that the human race is irrelevant and it's not needed,
Dangerous.
then you get the Terminator scenario.
Yeah.
Human life is
It's definitely-
dangerous.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take away millions and millions of jobs. So that's millions and millions that got to be supported by the state.
Well, all the jobs have already been sent overseas anyway. Most of the jobs have been sent overseas.
You'll have robots censoring what you say far more than we get now, because the ones that are doing now are only as good as the programmer, shall I say. If it's AI, then if it figures things out for itself, that will get worse.
I don't think it's so much of that, as basically the bastards up the top, if it is a top, doing what they want and blaming it on AI.
No, you imagine, what scenario can I use while I'm thinking about this to put it in perspective? Yes, it will be a human controller, sure. The smart meters. Okay. AI gets hold of smart meters because they'd obviously get it involved in that because of the calculations, thinking, billing, everything else involved around it. Now, that would mean a machine decides when you get turned off, when you get reduced power in the future. Not
Or
a
DNR orders.
A machine doesn't listen to reason. And that's the issue. The human element of reasoning is what makes this technology so dangerous. Where did I get that from? I've never even thought of it like that before, but it is.
Yeah.
Yes, humans make bad decisions and wrong decisions all the time, admittedly. But most humans, and I say most reservedly, learn from them mistakes. AI will learn, but it will more likely just find another way of doing exactly the same thing, but with the same result, as it were.
Here's a little thought experiment for you. People in chat can say this as well. I've got a question. If you actually have this sort of conversation with a colleague at work or a customer or somebody you just know, casually, if you ever actually have a conversation about the dystopian future that's heading towards us, do they look at you as though you've grown an extra head? Because the normies that I speak with, I'm finding it very difficult to mask my contempt for the people I interact with in everyday life. I can only have meaningful conversations with people online.
There's some that I've cut out of my life altogether, mate. There's some that I put up with simply because of their position, either in a family or what have you. There's someone I respect, then absolutely fine. But anybody in public, I just can't be bothered with. I mean, all through the lockdowns, I was talking to like shopkeepers and stuff like that. Even that, we had a meter reader knock on the door the other day. And I opened the door and he stood there in the mask.
Oh, for crying out loud.
But he did admit, I did say, look, if you don't want to, dude, you don't have to wear that in here. We ain't fucking bothered by it. We don't buy into that. And the first thing he done was pull it down and said, oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
But it was part of his job. He was told if you're going into other people's houses, you've got to wear your mask. And he was quite glad when we told him he didn't have to.
But it was for our protection.
But it was, he was told they have to do it for our protection. That's fine. We don't need protecting, mate. You do what you want.
Well, back on the subject of meters, they actually sent somebody around to read our gas meter and the electric meter. Now they're in inspection boxes on the outside wall. They don't actually have to enter the property. And as luck would have it, I'm in my man cave here, and I heard him wandering up the driveway because we've got a proximity passive infrared motion activated alarm. Yeah, so he walked past it, so I knew that there was somebody coming up the drive. And I said, "Oh, you actually come to read the meter, have you?" He said, "Yeah, I've come to read the meter." So knock yourself out. There's the gas meter, the electric meter's round the back. And I actually watched him, what he was doing. I said, have you checked that the gas meter's got the emergency control valve handle on it and it's actually earth bonded? And he looked at me and he said, what do you mean? I said, well, it's not just your job to make sure that the meter, take the meter readings. It's your job to make sure that they're actually safe and they conform with building regulations.
Yep.
Oh, he says, oh, I don't know anything about that. I said, so if I was to bypass my gas meter and my electric meter tomorrow, I could probably bank on you not coming round for another 10 months. Okay. Toodle pip, on your way.
Not one of them has said anything about the fact that normally the cat litter tray is right under the gas meter. So you can imagine the stink there. I do remove it when they're here.
Wasn't too bad.
But the smell's still there. And I'm just, yeah, go on, mate. Get your head down there and look at them numbers.
We had the Jehovah's Witnesses round the other day at the door, both wearing masks, and I was being polite to them and saying, "But thanks, we're not really interested." And I said, "And you shouldn't be wearing those masks either, you know."
No, it should be against their religion. If God's got a plan for them, if God has figured out everything, every breath they take, every move they make, He's always watching you, you know, God. If God had a plan for them, why fuck about with God's plan by wearing a mask?
And she said to me, "Well, I've actually got a lung condition, so that's why I'm wearing a mask." Imagine that. I said, "You shouldn't be wearing anything that obstructs your breathing if you've got a lung condition."
Yeah.
She didn't understand, but maybe they're not really God's people.
Don't they wear strange underwear as well?
I didn't check.
The only way you can get them away from the door, if you can see them coming up the street, and you can normally tell what they're trying to sell you, whether it's insurance or God or what have you, whatever they're trying to sell you. What you should do is strip down to your underpants and put a banana down. Open the door with a big manic grin. What you need to do is roll your tongue around your mouth and just have some drool drubbling down your chin. I tell you what, they won't bother you. They'll be back off next door. They won't bother bothering you. Strip down to put a banana in your underpants and start drooling at them lasciviously.
Saying here on the meters, and Google would be down if they cut the power. Well, if the balloon ever goes up, the power's going to be the first thing that fries anyway, because they'll all be, what do you call them? Magnetic pulse things.
EMF.
Yeah.
EMP.
Anything electrical will be wiped out,
Mm.
whether it's connected or not. Anything with circuitry.
Yeah.
So,
Electromagnetic pulse.
It always used to be, in a state of emergency, the only ones that would be kept maintained and working were landlines, and that was for military purposes. But obviously, they've got radios and shit now they can use. They've all got backup generators. And electromagnetic pulse, that's it, EMP, wee one. Yeah, if you go back, I did a video a while back of just how much RF signal, EMF, and microwave pulses and whatever come out of these smart meters. And the levels that they put out is frightening.
Yeah.
There was one country, and I do believe it might have been Germany. I did put a graph in the video of percentages for different countries, all fact checked, and Germany was something but 3,000% more output from their smart meters than the British ones, or something like that. And the other thing is when you're in high rise, you've got a meter for every flat on every, or whatever apartment on every level. So you imagine the communal RF signals, microwaves, whatever, coming out of all those en masse from one building.
Yeah, it's incredible. You can even hear them. A lot of people claim to hear them. I hear them go on and off all the time.
Yep, a lot of people hear the same thing from just living under electricity cables and near pylons.
You have to get a Faraday cover or something like that.
I mean, where I have my flat over the back here, I was probably less than 50 yards from the main pylon. And I got used to it in the end, but you had a constant humming from that. And when you walked past it, there was always that, like a static feeling.
Yeah. Well, the amount of people getting cancer who lived close to them is all brushed under the carpet.
Yeah. You off then, Stuart? Have you got your food in front of you? Well, not far off it myself now. It's 7:15, so
Oven's on.
it's been a nice, peaceful stream again, people. Thank you ever so much for that. There has been one or two people that have joined in over the past couple of weeks, more so on Dan's. Can't believe how we run the stream like this. I said, well, it's zero tolerance. We won't have idiots in here. We won't have people arguing. We don't want drama. And it's literally what it says. It's a Friday catch up between friends. And friends shouldn't argue.
If you, what I'll do, Roger, is I'll email you the title of that book that Dan's reading. So if you're ever in doubt with anybody backstage,
Me and Dan are in daily contact, mate. And,
all right, fine. Yeah.
We always have something pre-arranged, so he doesn't even have to ask me usually.
Right.
As soon as I come up on the stream, I do what I know he wants me to do, and yeah, nobody could have videoed it because it's said in private. And that is one thing we are hot on that now, and we've got to be. We've got to be. You know yourself, I very rarely ask you, but because we don't see your face very often, it's an easy one to copy. Put it that way.
That's why. Move the sodding cam, you idiot.
Oh, we ain't worried about it. You want to sit there and look like a tank commander, that's up to you.
my legs go numb, and occasionally my legs go numb, and I've got to stand up. So all you say, what's Boiler doing? Copying my style anyway.
Yeah, I mean, so, as I said the other day, someone even tried to use a clip of me to try and get on Glenn's channel. Where they took the clip from, I don't know. But in fairness, Glenn said someone told me about it, and he said he knew it wasn't me because he knows I don't go in his channel, and I wouldn't even try and get in there. So he knew straight away it wasn't me. And there's people that come in the back chat on Dan's that we know absolutely, yeah, that's not who it says it is, people don't realise that a lot of the moderators, especially the administrative moderators, can look a lot more into things than anybody else can on who's in the chat, who's on the stream. There are ways and means. Yes. I mean, mine don't look that impressive because they're only tiny little cheap things. And my proper cams haven't got a mic on. I just use them for listening. So.
Here we go. Nikola Tesla predicts that the modern day smartphone in 1926, when wireless is perfectly applied, the whole Earth will be converted into a huge brain, which in fact is, all things being particles of a real and rhythmic whole. We shall be able to communicate with one another instantly, irrespective of distance. Not only this, but through television and telephony, we shall see and hear each other perfectly, as though we were face to face, despite intervening distances of thousands of miles. And the instruments, though, which shall be able to do this, will be amazingly simple compared with our present telephone. A man will be able to carry one in his vest pocket.
Yeah.
Tesla said that years ago.
Well, my brain must be receiving signals anyway, or the space chickens have learnt to be more advanced because they quite often send messages in there. I've learnt to ignore them now, but...
The scary thing is, like I said, we've got these cameras all over the drive, and I installed them, these radio-controlled ones. You just have a long-life lithium cell battery in them. The thing is, you get it free for the first 2 years. After that, you have to start paying for it. I didn't know that.
Yep.
We've also got the Ring doorbell. That's the same thing. It's free for so long, then you've got to have to pay for it. So we've got the Blink, we've got the Ring. They're all interlinked. So we've got passive infrared motion detectors, cameras all over the place. But if I got burgled tomorrow, or if I forgot to bring my tools in out of the car and some bastard smashed the windows and ran off with all my tools, what's the chances of a cop catching them?
Yeah.
Zero. We're more highly surveilled in this country. There's more cameras per square mile than nearly any other country on earth. And yet the results from burglaries and what have you are pitiful. What are the police playing at?
The only time they'll actually act on any CCTV footage is when they've been accused of something and they'll use it to discredit that.
Mm.
Most of the time, they don't even go and retrieve it. They don't even come out. They still don't come out and respond to burglaries, even though they've been instructed to do so. They're just going rogue. They're absolutely going rogue.
How many crimes are not going reported because people know that nothing will be done about it? And if they do report it, if they do claim on their insurance, what's going to happen? Their insurance premiums will go up. So basically, they keep their mouth shut. They commit it to memory. They're more vigilant. They're more safe about where they, what they do. But they're not going to report it to the police because nothing's going to be done about it, and they're only going to get hit in the pocket when their insurance premiums go up.
Yep. Right, I'm going to call that it, folks. 10 minutes short of 7, but I am starting to feel quite hungry now, and I've been yawning for about the last half hour. But before we go, again, thank you everybody in the chat. Honestly, I don't know any other stream that I've ever been on where I've had such a respectful bunch of people as this. It's really heartening to know that we can do this. What if we can do it? Why can't other streams?
Some other streams, they like the drama.
Yeah, they're there for the drama.
Clickbaity.
Yep, and they're the ones I don't want. So everybody in the chat there, give yourselves a big pat on the back. And hopefully we'll see you Sunday. If not, I will be running my regular stream next Friday. My hours get reset on StreamYard Sunday. So hopefully we'll see you all then. Have a lovely weekend. If you're in London or intend to turn up in London,
be careful.
Very careful. And try and stay away from the trouble unless you're one of those who wants to get in the middle of it. But it's not going to be a nice place to be for in the next couple of weeks, believe me. But have a wonderful weekend. You can come and tell me all about it on Sunday.
Yeah, toodle tip, folks.
Until then, everybody, stay safe, stay strong, stay free. Respects, guys. Right, I've got to make sure I press the right